had one producer out for a week and a half. It just feels like a spring
Hey
training
man,
game.
thanks for listening.
One
Go
guy
fuck
goes
yourself.
and proposes in Hawaii. The other guy
shit,
goes to
we're
owl
done.
capitalism.
Understand, it can't be bargained with. It can't be reasoned
about.
with. It doesn't feel pity or remorse or fear. And it absolutely will not stop. Ever. Until you are dead.
Jason Ellis. Moose Knuckle, Red the Dragon, Night, Danger, Canada, Uncircumcised, Philanthropy, Stupid Stuff, Supercross, Pain, Nipple, Machete, Passion, a scintillating bloodbath, a malicious fury, Evil, Cannabis, Interesting Thing, Awesome Radio.
Gonna take it all the way. You better give me my temporary high stuff.
It's the Jason Ellis Show. Jason Ellis. That really pitched. Michael Tully. I thought they were trying to come tonight. Andrew Bruce. I'm an idiot. Kevin Crab. Who would have thought eating a bowl of cum would pay off? Mike Catherwood. There's a gun in my head, Jason. I had to fuck. And Will Pendarvis. Fuck yeah, I'm Will Pendarvis.
How's he blowing up?
This is the Jason Ellis Show.
Hey man, ladies and shit. I mean, I'm not saying hey shit. I guess I'm saying, like, you know, I don't know, anybody who doesn't think they're a lady or a man, you know, which doesn't mean that I'm saying you're shit. Just, you know, broad strokes, you know. I mean, I'm in shit for sure. I mean, I'm a man. Am I? Really? I mean, there's something missing. Like midgets. Are we over that? They're cool with that now, right?
I don't believe that's the case.
Right. Well, little people, you know what I mean? Shout out to you guys. Watch out. It's windy out there, little people. You know what I mean? Get your harnesses on. And get ready to fucking... I wonder if a little person could throw one of those parachutes in front of him and take off like Wee Man did. Remember that?
It all depends on how windy it is.
Well, isn't it very, very windy on the East Coast? I don't know why I know that, or whether it's true. Yeah. Thank you, man. Fucking professional radio guy. Just Catherwood. I don't know.
Isn't that what they're calling it?
None of us here. None of us at the Jason Ellis Show say that. What you just said. Not even Michael.
What did you say?
The Northeaster?
Yep.
I believe it's pronounced nor'easter.
Oh, okay. There, see?
Right.
That's a real professional.
California boy.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I know nothing of inclement weather.
Right, well,
But I
that's another
mispronounced
reason.
half the words of meats that you put in tacos.
And there you go.
So it evens
See?
out.
Yeah.
Carne asada.
Boom! Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Just like a pronunciation tape.
Just to name a few Mexican words that I know. I'm not going to do another one right now. I don't want to blow my load, you know.
How about Raiders?
Yeah, I know
That's
that.
another Mexican word.
I know Raiders.
Dodgers.
And I know Dodgers.
Dickies.
I know Dickies. I know Will.
Will Pendarvis. Very Mexican word.
Right? It's not. See, I know that. I know Cerveza.
I bet, like, Will strikes me as the type of guy that if I found out he was half Mexican and hit on his mom's side, I'd be like, oh, okay. Totally makes sense.
What about when I said you had really good shins? Fuck, man.
Beautiful.
Yeah, like the best shins. You know, I was watching I got up this morning. I'm not sure why. Could have had something to do with my therapy session yesterday where I had my ex-wife in there to try to get things, you know what I mean?
You with you in?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, good for you.
Oh, I know, right? I know, right? Fuck!
That's ballsy, man.
Oh, it didn't work.
It's real shit.
I guess it worked. I don't know. I guess I didn't expect anything good to come out of it. So, but I did think that maybe I don't know. I guess I have a better understanding of what it is. I'm just not happy about my better understanding. I thought maybe we'd both come to a better understanding, but instead it's like we've both come to a mutual agreement that we suck. I think anyway. But that's beside the point.
But getting to that point actually probably could be helpful.
Yeah, because
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I think maybe we both were like kind of bummed out about still knowing each other, but I think we both received some information that would help us be better co-parents. You know, I think it's tough. You know, two people want to live two different lives, live in different places. You know, it's like everybody's pulling to do something. You know, it's a weird. You want to live your life, but you want to you want to live what the kids want to live. But, you know, no one's really sure what the kids want when you don't communicate with each other. So everybody's trying to suck it up and move on and all that stuff that you're supposed to do. It was weird though. It was like super uncomfortable. I don't think I've ever been in a room for that long with nobody else. It's a lot of talk with her.
I can imagine how tough it is. It must be just so hard to try to parent.
Felt like
From separate places.
felt like going to school again. I felt sorry for my therapist. No, that sounded bad. You know what I mean? I'm not saying she was. I was like, oh god, we have to pay extra for this or something. I'm sure this is brutal.
That's why he makes the big bucks.
Yeah, yeah.
You can assume that he or she has seen a lot worse, though. You know, just
Yeah.
trust me, it's probably gotten.
Oh, I could totally see that. I mean, I felt like that, you know. But I knew that. I didn't know how or why, but I knew that something would come up where I would be like, man. I knew, so I kind of when something did come up like that, I was like, yeah, I expected that, you know.
I've often wondered about that. I've been to see mental health professionals a couple different times in my life, and I find myself thinking, I wonder what is the worst shit this person has heard. Or like when you're walking in and the person before you is walking out.
Yeah.
You're like, what the fuck was that person just talking about? Because I'm sure most of it is like, you know, I never really felt like I knew my dad. You know?
See,
But
sometimes
then there's... The world will know I am the sea monster harbinger of the apocalypse.
okay,
I would imagine, and I'm certainly not a mental health professional by any stretch, but doing Loveline, hearing people open up to a medical professional about their deepest, darkest problems and secrets, just from my experience, I would think that it has to be some form of child abuse. Like, that's the hardest shit to hear. I mean, rape is bad. When your girl calls and she's like, my boyfriend raped me, you know what? That's tough. You go, wow, I can't even believe I'm listening. When someone's like, oh, my dad fucked me for 10 years, you're like, oh, fuck. You know, it's just
I've had
earth-shattering.
I've had conversations with my therapist where he will say things about, you know, I mean, he won't say a person or a name or who they are, but he's like, you know, I mean, people have come in and said that they have this problem in their life, and then it turns out from talking to them that this one particular thing happened in their childhood, and explained that how that could pan out to why they are like they are now. Right. Trying to use a metaphor, like trying to make me go, you know, and see the picture that's what you're doing, man. You know what I mean? Like, but instead of just saying that's what you're doing, he explains to other clients. And when I've heard whether they're true or not, whether he's making up the scenario or not, because you know he'll just go into one and when you don't have any names or anything, you know, it's almost, and there's crazy stories where it's almost hard to believe. I'm like, he's just saying that scenario to get me to realize what a fucking freak I am.
Right.
But I think, you know, I mean, he is a therapist that has to help people that are. I think the more you go to therapy and talk to other people, the more you realize that you're not alone, and that you'd be surprised. It would help anybody. I don't. You know, I mean, I think I noticed because I made a mistake of sort of saying that it wouldn't be a bad idea if you went, because things were getting a little out of control on her end, and I was like, I reckon, not my guy, but it wouldn't be a bad idea if you saw a guy, and she freaked out. I'm like, man, I wasn't. You know, I mean, I was saying that to. I mean, if you say it to me, I don't take that as offense. Well, I'm not allowed, so I don't take it for because I'm a crazy guy. So it's like, oh, yeah, I should go, but like I didn't. Well, like everybody should go. I didn't say. I meant it just like because you're a mother of my kids, and I'm like, wouldn't be a bad idea if you got some shit out, maybe.
It's tough if you say that out of genuine concern, and someone thinks you're pointing fingers. You know, it's really I never liked that.
Yeah, well, we're not. I mean, I only see TV ones. We're in the end, we're all like, who cares how we feel about each other? It was kind of a good thing, because I kind of felt like she said some stuff. I was like, oh, wow. Oh, okay.
Right.
Couldn't get any worse of my opinion of you. But we need to get this, you know what I mean? Like, I need to just suck it up. Like, whatever it is that rubs me the wrong way, fuck off, Jason. Like, it has to,
Right.
it has to end.
That's what I meant about when you said that we both kind of mutually agreed that we both suck. It's probably is helpful to just establish that.
Yeah.
And work together. Okay, you and I together, we both are not good for each other. We suck. I hate you, you hate me, whatever. But we are parents to these kids, so let's work in tandem.
Right, and I think you are right, because and then the other thing is, it doesn't happen immediately, and it was kind of like, once I figured out, it was like about 45 minutes in, I was like, we're fucking agreeing to disagree here, which is I meant it, but we are going to be a better unit from this meeting, and I've never blamed you for thinking I'm annoying, and I don't think you should be surprised that it's mutual. I mean, we're so opposite, it's wild, but we really did agree to doing it better. And when I walked out, I think I just analysed it all day, and then that whole night, and then it woke me up at like 5 a.m, and I think I finally came to terms with it at 5 a.m. Like all the things that come with worst case scenarios, because I just have to be that way, just because track record of how it goes. Things you get pushed around a lot. So accepting all that at 5 a.m. down on the couch, then I'm watching that's what woke me up. But at least I knew it. I wasn't like, oh man, what's going on? I'm like, I know what's going on. Just get downstairs, hang out with the cats, you'll be alright. And then I watched some fucking weird documentary about these some Indian cult thing that's
Wild
like,
country?
Yeah.
In a wild country. Yeah.
It like really happened
Shit
in
is
this country.
Awesome. Shit is awesome.
Yeah, so I'm not, and then because my chick is, I guess yesterday she went to some specialist and got some numbing shit in her nose, and they put like cameras up inside her fucking brain.
Whoa!
Yeah, dude, because it's that bad, and she's on steroids and crystal meth and all this other stuff.
Good combo.
Yeah, no, I can't wait to get home tonight. It's gonna be great. Because she was like, "Look at these," and I'm like, "What is that?" She's like, "Those are the things that people make meth out of," and it's like you have to sign some form when they give it to you. And I was like, "Wow!" And I'm like, "And you're on steroids?" I'm like, "You're gonna be going for it."
Yeah.
But anyway, she's pissed at me this morning that I had already started. I'm like, I was unaware that this was worth watching. This was like a 5 a.m, who cares thing.
Yep.
But it's weird to hear. At first, I'm listening to these people talk about how evil they are, and I mean, it's in the 80s, I guess 70s, but early 80s. But the cult thing and what they were doing, like I guess other people know about this if you lived in America in the 80s. But this
I've never heard of this, and I lived in America in the 80s.
Well, this Indian
This
girl
guy
was on
Osho,
Yeah.
who's now known as Osho, but he was known as the Bhagwan, I believe. No.
Yeah. Well, anyway, they
established their compound in rural Oregon, and it caused a tremendous amount of problems for the locals there, who are, rural Oregon's very conservative, very kind of traditional American.
Yeah.
And this documentary really goes in depth into how it affected both the locals and how it affected the people in the compound. It's unbelievable the level of production they do to get, pretty much everyone involved they talk to. And now, 35 years later. And it's just really a very unbiased, investigative look into this really strange. You can't believe it happened in America.
Yeah, I haven't watched it all, Will, so I've only watched a couple, and I told Katie to catch up with me while I'm on the radio, but as far as I can tell so far, the main thing that I'm getting from it is a lot of people keep arguing that they wanted this thing to stop because it was a religion or something, and it was coming from a bunch of religious people. How it's like a cult because they're all following this religious thing, and I'm like, that's what you're doing. This is a good Christian town. We don't need people like that. Wait, it's a weird double standard. Everybody's argument in the 80s, all these lawyers are all pounding these people for being a religion. I'm like, they're all shouting their religion in, and what was it? Oh, because they have open sex. I mean, they all seem pretty fruity. Everyone's getting fucking hyped as hell on some Indian dude. But if you want to get hyped as hell on some Indian dude and make your own house, eat your own food, I don't. Maybe it gets worse later on. I don't know. I'm only halfway through. Maybe he starts fucking kids. But as far as I can tell, he's pretty cool. I don't know who that is. Wait, somebody trying to take over your town? Come in, I hate talking through the wall. This is a serious conversation. Will, and I don't see you very often, you know.
When the Unification Church moved into my town, which is basically a Cajun town in Alabama on the bayou, they started taking over the shrimping business there. And our family friends fought against having the Unification Church in our town.
Yeah, you keep saying that like we all know what that is.
The Moonies.
What is the Mooney?
They followed Reverend Sun Young Moon. It's a cult.
Okay, but you know what? I think it's a name from the 80s because isn't there the spaghetti monster people?
Well, that's a wildly different thing.
Yeah, but it's a religion, right?
No, the spaghetti monster thing is nobody actually believes in Pastafarianism or the flying spaghetti monster. They just wanted to point out that there are a lot of privileges that people things that people can get away with. For example, the tax exemptions on the church because people do it in the name of God. So they go, okay, well, fuck you. I believe in the flying spaghetti monster. So give me all that same shit. It's a point that they're making.
It's almost like Borat. They're making fun of something to make a point. You know, But
they're pointing it out because it's not a separation of church and state when you do that, right?
Not really, because all separation of church and state was ever really supposed to mean is you can't have there's the Church of England. Yeah. There's no Church of America. That's all separation of church and state's really supposed to come down to.
The religion shouldn't govern the country on a local level, on a state level, on a national level.
Yeah, but isn't that a weird? Yeah, but that's they're trying to do that to this so-called cult, even though that's what we are. I mean, it's Christian rules.
Well, there's always going to be.
That's what the law is.
Well, yes and no.
The president says, "I don't know. God." Fucking do something.
I know. Look, I think I can. The tension there is that you can never officially have religion ruling America, but we do have a representative democracy where we vote for people that we think are like us and represent our interests. So if there's tons of Christian people, they're going to vote for people who represent their values.
We have a president now, I mean, not so much who isn't openly religious, but during George W. Bush days, the president would commonly talk about how he had to confer with God about what the right decision would be. If there was a president, an active United States president, said I had to confer with Allah about what I need to do, I mean, the fucking country would fall apart.
That's why Obama never talked about
it. Exactly.
Even I get that joke.
But it's easy to get confused. There are a lot of situations where Christianity lines up with what common sense is about morality. You're like, you shouldn't kill people. Yeah. You know, and a lot of those things are lost, but also a lot of things that people hold up as being Christian, whether they are or not, also end up in there somewhere.
The weird thing about when we call cults, it just essentially means it's new.
Nah.
What if you do a community? What if I buy a giant block of land and we all live there?
Right.
That I mean, and obviously. Trying to do that in Los Angeles, I don't know how much money somebody would have to do that. So you go out into the middle of fucking nowhere.
Right. Well, that's kind
where
of
this place had
Oregon,
40 people lived in the town.
Right.
So these guys, I guess, at one point they're on the streets and they're rubbing it in, but they pissed off 40 people in the middle of nowhere, and they were 200 people that made like a cool ass self-sufficient farm.
And it's kind of hard to stop someone if they legitimately have the cash to buy 200,000 acres. which is what this guy did. He bought up such a sizable chunk of land.
To know, because I've done transcendental meditation, so I did the course, and to know that, like, if you meditate, it helps, man. And then watching their bullshit, like, everyone's got their little thing, like the Bikram guy or whatever. And I don't know that guy, but I know Howard Stern tore him a new asshole, so that's my info on the guy. And, I mean, he wants
horrible.
he's a horrible guy, but he did. But if you do yoga, like I just had, fucking Ryan Hughes backed it 1,000%.
Right.
So I know that shit works. I also know that meditation works. If you're stressed, you work, and you got money, and you want to get out of the city, you got no kids, and I've had enough of this digital world, and you go to a big camp where some fucking Indian dude keeps smiling at you, crazy breath thing, meditation thing, eat right, fucking do yoga and do these classes with everybody. Yeah, you feel this weird release of this is the way to live. Okay, I see if you don't have kids how you might want to do that. Now you're making a community where you're bringing your kids up in it. I still can't. I'm not going to hate on anybody. And to believe in this dude, I don't. I mean, like I said, I haven't gone all the way through it. The dude just seems like he knows a bunch of meditation shit. I mean, he's a little bit full of shit.
You need to watch all the way through.
Does he get worse? Is he a bad guy?
I'm not.
Okay, all right.
But you know what? But it was funny to me that when something is different, if it's say from the East or if it's from some type of exotic culture, we are quick to say, well, we can't have it running local government. But the Catholic Church clearly has a huge chunk of how Boston is run. And
what about
Mormons
Utah?
run Utah. Mormons run Utah, but we'll draw the line at certain things.
I feel like there's no more new ones.
Right.
Well, it's also God. In our mind, I think we Presbyterian, Catholics, all that think it's the same God, the guy with the beard and the lightning bolts out of his fingertips. Whereas if you use the word Allah, then that's a totally different guy.
What about?
Well, it's also Europe versus the darkies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of that's true.
What about if you have a big place where it's not religious? It's just everybody lives there.
I think you can have a place that's religious.
I
think there are certain things that cross a line that turn it into a cult.
Okay, I haven't seen this documentary, but I have a couple thoughts. First of all, there was the South Park episode, right, where a portal opens up and some other creature comes through, and it's basically like a metaphor for Mexicans. That first, the guy's like doing manual labor, and people are like, "Hey, man, he deserves a chance to make it just like everybody else." Until until there's more and more and more of them, and then one of them takes like Randy's job, and it's like, oh fuck this,
right.
And then all of a sudden there's like 20 of them to every one of the people who used to live in South Park, and obviously the people don't care for that. Now my perspective on this is different than yours is, Jason, because you don't feel like particularly connected to the place that you're from. When I'm back in the small town that I'm from in New Jersey, I wonder about that. If somebody went and set up a cult in my town in New Jersey, I don't think anybody would like it, because this has been their place for a long time, and no, it doesn't like belong to them, but yeah, it does. It's theirs. Their people have been there, and they have a way of life that they cherish, and you guys can do whatever the fuck you want, but don't take my town away from me in the process. And there's tons of places, and I'm sure that's one of the reasons why this documentary got made and is getting the push that it's getting across Europe and also in America, where people feel like there's been a ton of human migration into European countries, and people go, London doesn't feel like London anymore. Paris doesn't feel like Paris anymore. Some people who live in those places feel that way. You don't have to hate Muslims or hate Allah or think that everybody who prays to Mecca is a terrorist, and just be like, I liked Baguette Paris. I liked Big Ben London. Why did you guys need to come into my place? And
also, when the type of people will shy away from talking about it, but when the type of immigrant has a drastically
racist, Michael.
Well, it's true though, but like when people have the immigrant has a different cultural lifestyle, wildly different culture,
and doesn't care to assimilate.
It makes a big difference as opposed to the town I grew up. My sister and I are 11 years apart. I was a mistake, but we have a real cool kind of way of looking at things differently because we grew up in the same town with the same parents and the same thing, but 11 years different. My sister's graduating high school, same high school, had a couple of Chinese kids. My graduating high school had like 85% Chinese, but they just immigrated and they kind of believed in the same kind of stuff, and they studied hard and worked hard, and they all got the same type of jobs, and they kind of had the same moral code as everyone that was local in that part of Los Angeles. If it was people who were wildly different culturally, it might have been an issue, you know?
Man, it's not right, but like I said, all these other people do it all the time.
Right,
It's weird
right.
that they get brought up for it. I mean, was Beverly Hills originally Muslims and Jews?
For a
Like
long
when it
time.
was black and white TV times?
I don't know, but it's, I mean,
Something happened.
most of the people at my kids'
What about
school
it?
speak Farsi.
Yeah,
Right, so what-
Jewish, yes, because most of the early movie studios were started by Jewish men. So yeah,
Los Angeles has
I'm
for
just saying,
80 years been...
people communities take over areas, suck a butt.
but you know what? I think if you look back in the history, there was probably a lot of friction when that transition was happening.
Right. I mean,
Well,
like,
yeah, especially
yeah, yeah.
the faster it happens, the more friction you get.
Yeah,
like
I mean,
places
when I was
like,
a kid,
in Southern California, in Los Angeles in particular, there's been a history of friction between Mexicans and blacks, because there'd be these towns that were 90-something% African American,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden thousands of Mexicans would move in, take the jobs, take the appropriate the culture. There'd be nothing but Spanish writing,
Right.
and it's like, hey, what the fuck? This was my town. This is where I played Little
Yeah.
League, and now it's all So
yeah, no, I understand everybody's gripe with it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, doesn't stiff shit. If everybody does it, you can't stop them from doing it.
It's truly the price you pay for a quote unquote free country. It's like, hey,
Yeah.
you bought
It
a
seems
house
like-
here. We moved here.
It seems like if it's enough people, then it's okay. If it's a small amount of people, then and we can push you out, because that was the other thing I've noted, that they were like, it was a fucking fight to so far in this documentary. You need big people to muscle money around. It takes a long time. It's not easy to do. I don't think that any of them looked good to me so far in this documentary. Nobody looks like anybody I want to hang out with. Most of all the people in the cult. I know. Look, I'm not wearing fucking purple pants for the rest of my life. No fucking way. Right. But if you want to do that kooky shit, I think everybody's kooky. Like, if you're allowed to think I'm kooky, that's cool. You're allowed to live your kooky life, and so am I.
Yeah, but it becomes different, and we should look up the definition of cult. It becomes different when an organization is taking advantage of people. Using brainwashing techniques, for example.
Right. Well, there's a couple of things you can say. Typically, a difference between a cult and a religion is that the guy, like the Pope, doesn't claim to be God. The
Well,
head of a cult very often does, but then again, Jesus claimed to be God.
I know. That's what I'm saying. They use dudes are getting angry in this documentary about his thing on behalf of their thing. It's just like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, how dare this person have tits? I'm the only one that should have tits. These new people with tits are disgusting. It's like
Okay.
you're all kind of like, you all want to hold on to your shit. It's just human nature. I was here first.
Okay, Jason, but okay, let's say that where you live is like for a square quarter mile is a city all of its own, and all of your neighbors all of a sudden are all super religious, Bible thumping Christian, and they outlaw sex aside from missionary position. They make you wear underwear when you're having sex. You can't have tattoos or whatever. I mean, you're gonna be pissed off at that.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about if people moved in and made rules.
Yeah, but they weren't doing that. Like, you're making up. It's like, what if a cult moved into your town and shot everybody? Yeah, I'm not for that. They came into the town. They had their own little farm.
No,
I felt like
the
they
majority of people control the government in any given county or state.
That was the super interesting aspect of this entire documentary to me. Was not whether or not the Bagramis are right or the townspeople. It was that in a place like America, how the strategy of playing the government and the judicial system against each other, like a game of chess, like figuring out your angles and fighting a battle using the American judicial system.
Yeah.
That was what was really fascinating to me.
Yeah.
It's like, I got you here. Oh, wow. No, but look at this loophole.
Yeah, they did loophole the fuck out of each other, huh? Well, I haven't watched it all, but Anyway, it just seemed like at one point, and I think it must be the same with everything in the start. It's super fun, and everybody loves everybody, and everybody just believes that they've all started this one thing where this is just a new place where everybody can start again, and it's all about love and taking care of each other. And then they settle, and then somebody comes in with their plan of love and take it, and then because that was the thing. I've only got a little bit into it where when the town gets angry, they get angry back, and I'm like, okay, because all I know is there's this Indian guy that smiles a lot, and I'm like, peace and love I'm sensing from this community. I'm not that lovable. I don't want to be here all day. But he looked like that's what the thing was. Let's make vegetables and do fucking yoga and finger each other. Hey man, I'm into that. But then the Indian lady's like, let's get guns, we'll fucking and I'm like, okay, now you are a cult. Now you fucked up. Like and then the whole I need to police the city. You know, I mean, that's when. But my only thing is what they were doing is what everybody does now. That's what it is. Everybody makes this weird religious business thing where they get to take a piece, and if you come in, they fucking crush you for it. That's what, and they're like, "Whoa, you're like a mini us." No way, because that's what you are.
They fucked up though. I mean, they have to. You can say
religions are cults. All religions are cults,
and stuff like that. But believe me, if you bought up, somehow had the miraculous amount of money that you could buy up 200,000 acres of Laurel Canyon in LA, you could be fucking people all over the place. It wouldn't be that big a deal. The fact that you go to rural Oregon, the town people, when they see people having sex in public, that's pretty.
Wait, what?
Shocking.
Okay, I haven't watched that.
Yeah, spoiler alerts! Come on!
No. I mean,
we have to stop.
Also, once again, like why you got to be careful when you're just in polite society talking about politics or religion is because you're never talking about either of those things. If we want to have a civil political conversation, nobody's going to get angry. Yeah. If you want to say, "Oh, really? You're a Christian? Well, I'm a Hindu. Here's what we do," nobody's going to get angry. But when we talk about religion and politics, we're not talking about those things. It's tribes. It's tribalism, and my tribe says "fuck you" to your tribe. Fucking leave God out of it because God doesn't have a goddamn thing to do with it.
People like
99% of the people I've met who are Christians are not Christian. Yeah. It's just the fucking that, and 99% of the Democrats and Republicans couldn't fucking tell you what the real platform of their party is. It's the tribe that they belong to, and it's tribe on tribe butting of heads.
That's what we're seeing.
Primal human shit.
More
I was going to say it's
now,
primal, huh?
The right and the left, right? It's not.
Yeah.
I don't know if most people even believe the overall ideology of either. They just love belonging. You know?
Go find the list of the things that are hardcore Republican things that 10 years ago were hardcore Democrat things, and vice versa.
Yeah.
It's just, this is my tribe, your tribe, my flag, your flag. That's all this shit is.
You root for the same football team, but the players are always changing.
Yeah, look, I've only watched a little bit, and apparently I need to watch a hell of a lot more, but all I kept thinking was, that looks cool, except for the bit that everybody else is there.
Right.
Like I would like to buy 2 acres and have a house and a lake and wear purple pants by myself.
But
nobody's allowed to. You know what I mean? Like, come on, everybody! Like, I don't even want to name the street. I don't want to even call my driveway Ellis. You know what I mean?
The point is that
it did look cool to have your own community and your own rules. That's awesome.
When it's radically different than what they're used to. That's the thing. Like, I was eating in Venice. I live in Venice, and like it's fucking wild. And I was eating lunch, and there was girls' softball team from El Paso, Texas, and they started talking to me, and they were just blown away. They're like, I can't believe it. We saw topless people, and we saw these people that were just smoking weed openly, and everyone was just like on skateboards and playing drums and. And I go, yeah, it's crazy, and they didn't have a problem with it. But if you all of a sudden just shoveled up Venice and dropped it in El Paso, Texas, believe me, people would be like, "What the fuck is going on?" You know. But what is completely comfortable in one culture is different.
And what infringes on your lifestyle does make a difference.
Yeah, people don't tend to hate new groups who show up who play ball, like Mike was saying. I can remember among a certain class of New Jersey, and when the Portuguese moved in, it was okay if the Portuguese buy in your neighborhood. The Portuguese fix up their house. The Portuguese like to put flowers in front of their house. So it's good if the Portuguese come. You just don't want blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah buying in your neighborhood. No.
fuck is this guy? No,
What
sorry.
about
No.
what about
I know-
CrossFit?
I know somebody who just,
join that.
joined a cult, and it's not Scientology.
What?
I do.
What cult? You know, like,
I'm not really at liberty to say, and I don't know a whole lot about it, but I know this person is in a
does it say it's a cult? Or do you just think it's a cult?
any single person listening to this right now. It's like, what is pornography? I don't know, but I know it when I see it.
Yeah.
Any single person listening to this could visit a meeting or see the website or talk to a person who's in it and be like, yeah, that's a cult.
Yeah, I know like 3 or 4 people that have been in
Like a LA
cults.
thing?
I don't know if it's more than LA, but yep.
Well, I know people that were raised in them. Yeah, were raised.
Oh, me too. Doesn't always turn out well.
No, it does not. these guys escaped early enough. I think one guy in particular, his parents kind of changed their tune when he was like in junior high school, where they were all in when he was a little boy, and then they slowly got to the point where like, what the fuck are we doing? And then they went back into the like normal world, you know. So he had a very strange kind of juxtaposition of seeing cult life versus normal kind of like valley life.
Man, I feel so bad for kids that are just raised in a cult and don't know anything different.
That was the big thing with Leah Remini was like, I know Scientologists that are I have friends that are Scientologists. They're fucking cool. They're perfectly cool, super nice people, but they got into Scientology when they were like 26. Leah Remini seems to have a completely different experience because she was totally born and raised in this world that was isolated from what is normally what would be considered the normal world, you know?
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. Everybody should just be allowed to do whatever they want.
For the most part, we are. I mean, we like to bitch and moan, but we're
Yeah.
We are pretty
yeah,
free.
Yeah, look, yeah, we have to wear seatbelts in the cars, but we're allowed to drive our cars and drive them anywhere we want to, and all that kind of. We have to stay under a certain speed on most roads. You know, I mean, there are a little bit of restrictions that are meant for to keep people safe in general.
It seems to me everybody is free to be whatever they want, just not necessarily wherever they want.
Yeah,
Whatever you want to do, you can find a spot.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And then there's the argument of I'm so poor I can't get out of that spot to get to the spot where you're talking about.
Sure.
Right, which
Like
is
when people say how
frequently
far
the
they have to go
abortion
for an
thing.
abortion. Yeah,
But
there you go.
but you have literally have the freedom to do it. Yes, money affords you the ability, but you know, talk to a Russian that gets a chance to move to America, or an Afghani, or you know what I'm saying. Like, we really do take for granted how we are pretty free to do whatever the hell we want.
Well, if I got a city, if I bought an area and I got a city and I had my own police officers and stuff, can I make the rules of my town no speed limit?
I don't know if that. I think that's federal law. I don't know if that's only on the interstates or local roads.
I don't know if you're allowed to have your own police. You can have your own security.
Well, if
These
you
people
are
do.
actually
Yeah,
an
really?
incorporated city,
Yeah.
if you're an
good luck
incorporated
pulling
city,
that off.
yeah, if you are a city, then yeah, I mean you can, change.
Did
the
they
law, but-
this? I don't want to spoil that, but did they figure out a way to stop anybody from ever doing a thing that like having to do a city again? Like, can you have a city?
No, because like there's plenty of unincorporated parts of the
It's
United
in the
States
Constitution,
where
right?
companies own America. Parts of America are owned by a company, like oil companies and stuff.
And
There's
water
parts
companies,
of,
right?
Yeah,
Celebrities have bought towns.
Right. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if I buy a town and I have like say it's a racetrack. I made a racetrack. It's like a private area, and then I got no speed limit.
I bet Katie has experience in Alaska of like stumbling into parts of that's you're no longer in Alaska. You're in Exxon. You know, it's like they run it like their police, their security supersedes. The
Because there's an actual law where you can do it. There's like 100 people vote thing or something where you can have your own city, and then you have like actual fucking police.
Until Steven Seagal shows up and cleans house.
But you
Or he buys his town and does it himself. I mean, wasn't he running around like a cop?
if you have your
I'm a
town,
New Orleans cop.
That's New Orleans.
it's pronounced Nowlings.
Yes, tell me about it.
If you have your own town, you probably wouldn't want to have no speed limit there because somebody gets killed on that spot and they sue the city
Right.
Fuck.
for not keeping it safe.
Right.
Kim Basinger, I believe, is a celebrity that had a problem with that. She bought her own town. And
No.
they had some problem. Like, not a murder or anything, but just like
Murder in a small base in her town.
someone broke a leg or something in her town. It's like, well, It's your fault. You're the government. You have a problem.
She broke somebody's legs and kept them captive in her house.
Alec Baldwin's, yeah.
She pours shitty sidewalk.
Another weird.
Buying a small town. There you go, Brazelton.
$20 million.
She got sued for $20 million.
No, she
paid $20 million for it.
Bought it for that much.
God damn, actors used to make crazy money.
The weird thing is, in Hollywood, for example, near Hollywood and Highland, they have their own unofficial private police force. They pack heat, they arrest people, and all of that shit. And they do it by working through, basically loopholes in the law where they can, make a citizen's arrest and then turn the person over to the police and stuff.
You ain't citizens arresting me.
Disney
I think they would. They have guns.
Yeah, so do I.
I didn't beat up their gun. I forgot.
Yeah.
Disney
Put
has
my
cops?
finger in it. Jason Bourne it.
Disneyland and Disney World, those are cops. They're Disney cops. They're not Orlando cops. They're not Anaheim cops. Those are Disney cops.
Cool.
But they're cops. It's kind of cool. That's balling.
I'd rather spend a night in Disney jail than regular old Anaheim jail.
I went to the
it's
Disney.
nice.
I went to the Disney holding tank. I didn't spend the night there, but I had to kind of wait it out.
Why?
There was this thing where they do like senior day
Yeah.
at Disneyland where the whole park gets rented out for like schools in LA County public schools, and I went there and it wasn't like my school. I just went with like thousands of other kids from my friends at another school, and we ate mushrooms, and I went fucking berserk. And next thing I don't really recall what I was doing wrong, but I know I was being an asshole, and they took me and held me there for like 6 hours, and then they just let me go.
The Disney cops.
Long enough for the mushrooms to wear off.
Yeah, long enough to make it way more psychologically damaging on me to be in a cell with other 10 other kids.
I know.
Disney jail.
I've been in a holding room on acid before in Australia, where my friend was racing I was racing with another guy, and I did and there was a cop behind us, and he took off through the red light, and I went over the curb around the red light to cut him off because he took off on the red light, and I didn't know that there was a cop behind me because I had just taken acid. And then I remember in their car, the passenger was sitting on the outside of the door with his hand on the roof, with the other hand in the air, so he was half out of the car. And I went flying over the curb in this piece of shit Valiant thing that I fucking bought for like $2,000.
Oh, mate.
And fucking as I'm coming in to like cut him off, and like I don't know what my plan was, all of a sudden like flashing lights come in between both of us, and I'm like, fuck, didn't see that, you know what I mean, like cops. And there's a gas station like just ahead, and fucking James pulls in, and I pull in behind him, and I look at James, he just starts putting gas in the car.
That's a great one.
And I'm like, fuck, I will too. Maybe that'll, you know what I mean? Maybe we'll just get away with it or something. And they're like, how's it going, man? And I'm like, all right. And they're like, been drinking today? And I'm like, nah. And then, they question the other guy, bring him over, and he already had gas in the car. That's right. He was already gassing. Because in Australia, you just pump, right? You don't have to go in there. And then, and I'm like, he's going to get away with it because I'm so fried I don't. And then they're like, hey, get over here. And he's like, me? You know what I mean? Like, who, me? The other guy that just took off the red light? Yeah, so he goes over there and he did the bong thing. He did a joke to me and did he said, where's the shot? He got the lighter and said, where's the shotty? And looked at me like, how funny is that? And they're so used to bogans that it was, all right, we'll jump in the dibby van then. And then I just jumped in the dibby van, and then they questioned me, and then when he finished questioning me, he left. And I remember I'm arrested, all this other stuff. I forgot that I'd even taken acid. And then when he finished questioning me and left me in the room, I'm like looking at the wall, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then I'm like, oh no! And then I was just in there frying bowls, and I looked at the wall. You know when you ever look at the sun like has a spot in your eye, and then wherever you look, that spot's somewhere?
Yeah.
So I was just following little dancing things around. There was like some stain in my eye.
Yeah.
So I was amused as fuck, and I don't know where my car or anything came. And then they're just like, all right, you're free to go, because in Australia you don't go in the whole night. They question you why you did it and all that stuff. You know what I mean? I don't fucking know why I did it. You know what I mean? Like,
I just can't believe,
and then
growing up here, I can't believe you hopped a curb And when the cops pulled you over, they were like, "Hey,
They didn't pull guns out.
Yeah, like
Nothing like that.
you're so fucked."
I've had guns on me by police in this town like 4 or 5 times in my first few years.
I know, but when I first came to America, though, they put the fear in me real quick. Like things changed. I never talked to an American police officer like I talked to an Australian police officer because, I mean, I lived in America and then went back to Australia and still talked to them in the same way because I knew them to be different.
Right.
You know what I mean? I've told the story with the fucking me and my brother sat in a van for like 4 hours with AC/DC blaring, 2 slabs of beer, and I just had sacks of weed. Could not see each other until there was like a bonk on the glass, and my brother can't open the door because he's too high, and he fucking wound the window down. Smoke just starts flying out everywhere, and there's a cop. I'm like, fuck, heavy. What's going on, boys? I'm like, it's nothing. Just hanging out. Having a few beers, enjoying yourselves. And I'm like, yep. And I got a giant... This is back when I didn't care about my lungs. I had like just tally-ho papers, but I'd figured out how to make like 6 tally-ho joints. Big fucking joints, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how good they were. They're big, so you didn't have to roll another one. Yeah, it fucking lasted longer. So I got this giant bunger in my hand. I'm like, fuck, do you go to jail for weed here? I really didn't know if I was... He's like, yeah, you got... keys in the, because the music's on. Keys are in the ignition. Not driving tonight, are you fellas? No. Well, I just came back from the States, just talking to my brother about old times and shit. His parents live over there. Oh, all right. Well, neighbors are complaining, saying you're, because Lee had like a good sound system in this van.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're playing music too loud, so probably lock it up, turn it off, and call it a night. I'm like, yeah, okay, all right then. Good one, boys. Oh my god! And it was something like he said it was something about. I think I might have brought up something about skateboarding, or Lee did, and it was something about he might have congratulated me in some kind of way before he got in the car, and then they drove off. And I remember we started laughing after they drove off, like back in the car for a second, like oh my, because I'm like, dude, where I live now, we might be dead, not. Let alone jail, dead. I was just blown away by. Have a good night. I'm like, okay, officer, with a fucking like a cigar doobie in my hand.
That's the weird one difference.
This is the it wasn't. I think it was 2000s.
That's the weird one difference that I see between kind of the way that we grew up, because you had Crocs, had Gators, whatever, backwoods, all that kind of stuff. Is that drugs? That's, smoking pot, that's just like doing cocaine or meth or whatever else. In my town, you'd be fucked.
Right. Man, in my town, you could have been if it was a small town and you were local and everybody could tell you're local, you could probably be sitting in your car drinking a beer. And
I could tell them who my dad was.
Yeah,
cool.
And you would skate.
Yeah,
but a joint would be different.
My friends.
Well, it's a small town versus a big town. Right. You actually have a relationship with the cops.
Right. No, I mean it definitely makes a difference. But I don't want to make generalizations, but my friends from rural Georgia, they say one of them crashed his car in a DUI and the cops gave him a ride home. I'm like, what the fuck?
Did he get a DUI?
No, the cops are like, yeah, let's just keep this between us. You're okay.
Fuck!
And I'm like, what? But we're talking. I'm talking like Cobb County. We're talking like 50 people in the town.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. This is really small backwoods.
Look, this is
in Atlanta.
I got in Param, where I used to get, like, I would catch a train to where I would go to the ramp. This is, I came back from America and I was drunk and walking the streets at night, feeling super accomplished and like back in my hometown of like, I remember when I used to catch trains when I didn't have a car. And I'm just reminiscing with my fucking handpipe, smoking weed, walking down the street. And I just didn't expect anybody to be a cop, and it was just like, how's it going, man? And I just turned around with the fucking pipe, and it was 2 chicks in a cop car, you know what I mean? They just rolled up on me, and I turned around with the pipe in my mouth, I was like, oh, alright, and I'm like, fuck, you know what I mean, like, act cool, but am I fucked now? Because in America, I think I'm fucking fucked.
Yeah.
And to be, it was like 3 a.m, and I was sort of really, I was right near where the train station was, and I was in the middle of reflecting about how far you've come. And I'm like, wait, am I going to jail? Am I deported? I don't know what country I'm in, I'm drunk. Yeah, and then they just asked me, like, what are you doing out in the street at 3 a.m? I was like, I know, looks bad, but here's the story, and because it's such a, you know what I mean, it wasn't a bullshit story, it was a real story, and I probably got a little bit of an American accent that can put some sting on it as well, and they were like, no shit! From the fucking States! He's from the fucking States, he used to fucking come here, you know what I mean? No shit! And they're both, like, talking about it, and I've got the pipe in my hand, I'm like, did they see it? I'm like, I know they saw it, I know they saw it! I'm like, I put it in my pocket, like, what am I doing with the fucking thing? I got fucking lighter and a pipe in my hand, I'm sweating, and they were just like, we have a good one. I'm like, okay. And then back to, I'm like, once again, fuck! And they didn't know me, I'm not from that town, and Brand's like near the city. Brand's like, it's a proper...
Suburb.
It's like, you know, like, but it's a suburb right out of the city, so it's still, there's still buildings and shit. There's tons of cops. It's a real civilized world. and I was walking around with a, you know, and then I hear all these things, you know, on the news how they don't, it's not legal there, and it's more legal here. And it wasn't that long ago. I guess it was. I guess it was like
legal or not
10
legal,
years ago.
Or how
Right?
people look at weed. There is just a thing about how you interact with cops in a big city in America versus, say, somewhere like Australia or even, you know, the UK or the smaller towns. We got pulled over. You were talking about a van and smoking weed. We went to see Pantera in high school. I was a junior in high school, and we got pulled over on the 101 freeway, and we were on our way there. And we were fucked. We were all smoking weed in a van, drinking, underage, and I think there was meth in the car. But 2 black LAPD officers pulled us over, and just the first thing they opened the car, like, get out. There's this giant Pantera flag. It was just a big Confederate flag. And we're like, oh fuck, and they're like, what's this, guys? We're like, it's nothing, you know. He's like, it's a motherfucking rag is what it is. And we're like, yeah, that's right. You're so right. Rag. You're so right, officer. It's trash.
I was planning on wiping my ass with that.
Yeah. Jeez.
Did you really have a Confederate flag Pantera? What the fuck for?
It was,
I guess they were
He's
pretty...
going to Pantera show.
And also in 1996, like, it was a Pantera flag.
It was a Dukes of Hazzard flag.
Right,
really.
exactly.
Yeah, didn't Zach Wild have that guitar?
Yes.
Zach Wild's
Zach
Wild's from New Jersey.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I've learned a lot. We're going to dumb it up when we come back.
Nice.
Getting way too smart.
Right? Fucking knowledge, guys. Slow down. Thank you, sir. You motherfucker. Wait, what's going on?
SI swimsuit cover model at 2 o'clock.
Born in Compton, California.
Yes.
That was your chocolatey goo.
It just solidified before I got to the end of it, but it was fun. Before I did that, it was fun as fuck. My 13-year-old daughter just texted me. It's 20 people plus me. 20 people at the Cheesecake Factory.
That's the first thing I think of. Shit.
I just had a quick word with Ross in the bathroom about the whole could there be a separate release thing, and he said it's like he's like fuck, leave me leave me out of it. But he said Gary
in charge of talent.
No. He said he did not say leave me out of it. He actually said Gary Schoenletter would be the person to start with on that and keep him in the loop. So,
Keep Ross in the loop.
yes.
Jersey Shore with Bon Jovi.
Cupcakes in the kitchen. You want a cupcake?
Not, thank you.
You okay, dude?
Yeah, I've just been at half-mast for no particular reason. Gotten a lot better as I've gotten a little older. I've had a couple times where I definitely overheated and thought that the answer was to work harder, and that doesn't work. So I'm getting better at, like, when I can feel it coming, just been sleeping and exercising. And that's all you can really
Sounds like a
do.
good idea.
You don't strike me as someone who eats cupcakes, but there are cupcakes in the kitchen if you want one.
Thank you for the offer. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I do eat a cupcake, it better be at like 10 o'clock at night because I'm falling right to sleep.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I've been really, like, sleeping really deeply and having crazy dreams, and just, you kind of have to let your subconscious talk to your conscience, and they interface in ways that you don't really understand. But, like, I know that if I were to say, oh, I'm, like, a little stressed or whatever, let me have a few drinks, well, I'll, like, sleep poorly, and then that thing that needs
Bad spiral.
and then that thing that needs to happen doesn't happen. One of the smartest things I read is that book, Start Where You Are. It's Poma Chodron or whatever. She's some monk lady. It's like everybody's instinct for obvious reasons is when there's a problem to run away from it, and you actually need to run towards it.
Yeah.
You know, not that I have a problem. I just, for like a week and a half, I've just been like I actually feel like tired. Like I exercised really hard yesterday. I feel that way, and I didn't.
Yeah.
Like there's just something that my body is like digesting that I don't know what it is, and I just need to keep sleeping.
Well, and it's good that you at least analyze the fact that there are a couple tactics you could that would probably help immediately, but
this is the
you're
one.
just running away.
This is the one, and I just got to get to the weekend and sleep even more and take naps, and sleep is just the ultimate.
Right.
You know. Yeah. It's
Yeah, it really is so fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah. And just usually Friday night would be she's coming by.
She is very, 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 very attractive.
Nah, she's a pig.
She's very my type. Usually Sports Illustrated is known for kind of like the all-American one, but this girl's very ethnic. I like that.
Yeah. Probably not a
That's
coincidence
so
that they
creepy.
didn't just get another.
No.
Nothing's a
I mean,
coincidence.
this year we're lucky they didn't use like a trans.
Yeah, we're lucky she doesn't have a dick. Yeah, that's true.
So I would do the Kids Solve World Problems here.
Yeah.
Some headlines.
There's a
and
fuck ton
then-
of news.
Yeah, and then I would make this break though a half break, because we can then take the swimsuit model for 15 minutes or 20 minutes and then break after her.
Oh, I see.
If that makes sense.
But wait, so not a half length break. When we break, make it for half.
Right.
Okay.
Congratulations! I forgot.
Thank you. Thanks. Yeah.
Big move.
Yeah. It's a step up.
You're making us all look bad by doing it in Hawaii.
I had to.
I did it in a fucking trailer. Literally. I was getting ready to go on set and
Was this the CBS
on
show?
Rules of Engagement, and her character was engaged, and so the the wardrobe team came in to give her fake engagement.
So you had a
ring.
whole thing.
Yeah. And I was like,
that's
you know
good.
what? Why don't you use this one?
Nice.
But she didn't get it, so it kind of ruined.
I did it at Planned Parenthood.
I was gonna have Jason have Will play the game as well. Yeah. Do you have a rejoin or
Yep.
no? That's the Alright, some spreadsheet imagination just gets here. Can you just text them? Cool.
Nick Kirsten says hello, Jason. Saw him this morning.
I like him.
He misses you.
Me? Yeah.
I miss him too.
Where do you want me to sit?
So I got some inside info too. Tyrone Woodley's
Website. Sorry.
Yes.
I don't know if it's inside, but I'll just in case.
I think she'll find us on the camera.
You guys want to watch me ride a motorcycle?
Why can't he do a TV show with Kanye or some shit like that?
Kanye, it's Chris. Sorry, it's Caitlin.
Okay, remember who I am.
Not a plastic surgery. Let's do a show or an album.
Just a quick single.
I don't know if Caitlin can sing. You would be surprised. Come on, baby. Help me out here. I'm a diva.
The Jason Ellis Show. Jason Ellis.
Two hotly contested fights, upcoming fights, have been in the news today.
Yeah.
Triple G is calling absolute bullshit on Canelo Alvarez's tainted meat
Tainted
alibi.
meat? Yeah, everybody knows that tainted meat story is like the horse meat story.
Well,
bullshit.
It's a little different in that there is clenbuterol in the beef in Mexico.
Not enough.
No, but I will. It's not necessarily exactly like horse meat because Chinese and Mexican meat does have clenbuterol. So I still think it's bullshit. Don't get me wrong, but he's at least working in the realm of possibility. Unlike I eat horse meat, therefore I.
Okay, it's more like a boner pill excuse.
Yeah.
He called the boxing commission "quote unquote" terrorists.
Well, I mean, you
They
may
are-
as well go full tilt.
He said that two of Canelo's trainers are also butchers. That I did not bother doing the homework on, but he's like, they should know if he has tainted meat, they're also butchers. And I don't think he meant that as like a metaphor. I think these guys are actually in the meat industry.
That's
Makes
the most
sense.
Mexican thing I've ever heard.
He claimed that he saw visible traces of injections on Canelo Alvarez.
Jesus.
I can also talk about Oscar De La Hoya. He is also not clean. He's dirty.
He's a horse meat eating motherfucker?
Yes.
Yeah. Whatever. They all cheat. Everybody did it.
Yeah.
It's all going to come out in the end that all your greatest athletes, everybody did it. And maybe now there's a couple that aren't on it that are great athletes. That's what's going to be it's relax. It didn't make him that much better. Little bit.
Well, you also don't inject clenbuterol.
Jesus,
yeah.
don't mind me.
Jesus Christ.
Look at angry talk.
I know, right? The fuck did that
So
do?
it's talking about the
These sharks.
injection sites.
It was the meat!
Yeah.
And also, of course, fighting words exchanged between Joe Biden and President Donald Trump.
Oh, I missed that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, what
That's
happened?
right up your alley.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, what happened?
So Biden said way back in 2016, after the grab him by the pussy stuff went public, Biden said, the press always ask me, don't I wish I were debating him? No, I wish we were in high school. I could take him behind the gym. That's what I wish.
He would take him behind the gym.
Beat him up. He basically said something to the effect of, we can't do this now that we're grown up adults, but in high school we had a way of handling guys like him. We beat them up.
Yeah, okay.
And
For it.
Trump says on Twitter, of course, crazy Joe Biden is trying to act like a tough guy. Actually, he is weak both mentally and physically, and yet he threatens me with physical assault. If I fought Biden, he would go down fast and hard.
Oh my God. Okay, that's okay. Well, now we're even Stevens.
Crying all the way.
Crying. Oh my God. He is not really who he says
So,
he
you
is.
know what Joe Biden looks like and what Trump looks like, right?
Wait, is Joe Biden the guy that would stand behind the president and make those weird
Very
faces?
funny smile.
Yeah.
He's a little bit fitter, right?
Hair plugs.
So
But
who wins?
I think he's much smaller. Donald Trump's a big guy.
Has anybody done the
Wait, are
tail
you really
tape on
analyzing
those
that?
guys?
Man, if they fought, both of them could die.
That'd be great.
Even if Trump won, he's going to hospital and maybe dying. But if he definitely fell over, I mean, Trump doesn't look like if he fell over he could get up.
Both shredded. I mean, we got that right.
Yeah, just old people. What are we talking about here? We should be more talking about how embarrassing it is that a president would fire back on Twitter that he would beat them easy and make them cry. What the fuck are you doing, dude?
So Trump,
I did not know.
Trump
I mean,
is
that's the
6'2".
bit. Who? No, he's not, because that's been proven that he
No,
just
no,
makes
he's,
that
he's
shit up.
big. If you've seen him
I
personally,
don't-
he's a big,
It's
big
the
man.
best 6'2" ever.
Dude, it's like saying, especially when you get to that age, like you're 6'2", that just means, like I said, when you swing, even if you hit or miss, you're gonna fall over, and when you fall over, you won't be able to get back up because you are a sack of shit. You are and anybody who is 80 and is that fat, if they fall, that's bad.
He's
Maybe grass, okay, he'll get up. Concrete, he is fucking hospitalized.
There was
never
a story
exercises
though
because
that
he doesn't want to waste his energy. That's 100% true. He said
Wait, what?
the president of the United States says that you're only given a certain amount of energy, and he doesn't want to waste it exercising. He wants
Oh,
to
okay.
preserve it.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay. Look, he seems energized. I'm not debating his energy because I see him on TV all the time talking. Sometimes he seems hoarse, but he's telling a lot of people to do a lot of stuff. I'm okay with that. Like I said, holy shit, bruh. Did you really fucking tweet back that I could beat you easy and that you would
Make you
cry?
cry.
Are you the fucking what?
Drago.
And you want to get all weird about the Indian guy that keeps fucking... I mean, what's worse?
Yeah.
Indian guy that keeps smiling creepy and everyone praising him, or this dude, I beat you easy. My son wouldn't... If my son had a Twitter account, he wouldn't go back at him.
Yeah.
And he's 9. He'd be like, man, guys...
For so much talk about respecting this and respecting that, and NFL players disrespecting the flag. Respect the office.
Hey, you're a fucking idiot.
Right.
Fucking idiot.
I certainly have had policy problems with President Obama, but imagine the person, Barack Obama, doing, like, if he were to get a tweet about someone wanted to kick his ass. I can really sit back and imagine any world where he'd be like, no, I'm gonna kick your ass. You're gonna be going down crying.
I didn't go... I wasn't born here, but, and I saw Abraham Lincoln movie, one where he killed vampires and one where he didn't. But I did know that, apparently he wrestled people and shit like that.
Talked a lot of shit too.
So
You've talked shit.
you've heard both sides of the
Right,
Lincoln
I've heard
story.
both sides. Thank you, Michael. I've got both sides, so when I read between the lines of both sides of those movies, I get that, he was not a guy to be fucked with. And that if he was alive at his presidential time, that this fight would be over. He would beat both of them. Obviously,
Dude,
he would behead them with
had a
an axe
president shoot someone.
because he could kill vampires.
Why
What?
did an active president shoot someone? He got in a fucking duel.
Well, I'm just-
I mean, things were different.
I
Like,
just,
deserved
but
it.
what I didn't get to my point is he still came across presidential. I don't think that it would be, he would, if the Twitter existed, that he would call out a certain person that said stuff, because first of all, it's just words, and I don't, like I said, didn't do any history in Australia or America. He just seemed like the kind of guy that was like, if it's gonna come to that, like you want to go to blows with me, then we'll be doing this face to face. I don't write notes and send messages about shit like that. I'm a fucking grown ass man, and that's like a guy that I think is from an era where I guess it was a little more appropriate to talk about wrestling men and handling them, because that was a time where that was not as bad. But I still think that he had dignity, and he wouldn't say to the guy's face, because obviously there's no Twitter, he wouldn't say, oh, if we were to fight, you would cry and be like, no, he wouldn't say that. He'd be like, I'm going to do it, or I'm not going to say it at all, because I'm a man. I'm a man of worth. Like, I feel like when someone says, like, I could do this to you, and you don't do it, man, you fall so hard on my scale because I know you wouldn't do it, and you just told everybody that you would. I know you're scared, bro. I know you are, because anybody who really does it doesn't say it. You just do it.
It's like those silly rappers. Remember, about a month ago that when you see videos of rappers fighting, you're like, clearly you're all talk, and you guys fight like little scared boys.
And look, that's a bad person who says they're going to do it and doesn't do it. It doesn't. You don't have a good. To me, you're not a good souled person. You're full of shit. Let's go on the other side of where maybe he really did mean it. Okay, Nate Diaz really means it. If he says he tweets, he's going to fucking do it for sure. Nate Diaz is awesome. Do I want him to be the president? No. He's crazy. Like, he might do fucking anything. So, either way, I'm bummed out by knowing that he tweeted it, because I'm like, one, you're full of shit pussy who fucking barks and you don't fucking buy it, or you're insane and you're in charge of everybody and you're just like, fucking, I'll smash you, Biden. Oh my God, really? Like, would you really?
No. I'm still laughing about Nate Diaz as president.
Question, how do you feel
Wouldn't be good, man.
How do you feel about Biden saying, "Oh, back in my day, we would take a guy like that behind the woodshed or whatever"?
Yeah, but that to me that's chivalrous. To me that sounds like a guy that's saying, even back in my day, when people talk like that about women, you mean somebody takes care of it.
He's not saying I will currently beat you in the face.
No, he's saying back in my day, it's like, if a kid's a fucking brat screaming, you're like, back in my day we'd handle that. And there's no, it's like, whether that's right or not.
Gotcha.
You're just saying, this is a weak bitch that's over here, look, look at my butt. I'm gross, man. I'm the grossest. I want to finger everybody. I saw something on Ellis. I jerked off on an old man. I'm fucking gross. I forgot I even said that.
Sorry.
Yeah,
sorry for playing that one. Yeah, old man sex. Yeah, sorry.
I didn't have sex with him. I'm just saying, I'm super gross, but I never told
Larry King knew what he was getting into when he showed up here.
You're tremendous. Thank you for the jizz.
Oh my God.
It's not him. It looked like him. Anyway,
you remind me.
It didn't look like him. He did say that. Yeah, but I would never grab anybody by the pussy, and I would never say that I can grab people by the pussy, or that it's a great idea, or that one of my favorite things to do is just do what I want to women. Yeah. You know what I mean? And as I just demonstrated, I have other glamorous ones where it was like all girls that were super hot on me as well. I don't have to mention the fucking jerking off. I'm the guy that makes it always. I actually have other ones where it's like everyone's really hot and they're all girls, mainstream audience, and they're all over me and I'm in control. Everyone loves me.
But everybody in this room agrees that you're gross.
Yeah. I'm okay with that.
But everyone also in this room agrees that it's great for a radio personality, not the president of the United States.
Right, but I'm also saying that I'm a nice person to all the ladies and old men that I've been with. I never grabbed the old man by the pussy.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, he said that's what he said.
By the colon.
Trump may be feeling a little frisky. There are stories that he cut out the McDonald's and the bad food in recent weeks and is starting to eat healthier. So he may be a little bit more confident with himself physically going up against Biden.
I think it's weird. Like, for me, if I don't eat right for a while and I notice the difference in my body shape at 46.
Yeah.
What does your body look like if you decide to eat McDonald's every day and you're 75?
Soft serve. You look like soft serve.
Right? Like, it's just all piled on top of it.
Donald Trump.
But it's the same as like drinking all the time. You can't dip in and out of it. If you're gonna do it and pull it off and have any chance of pulling it off, you have to live that life straight through.
I think your body adapts. I also think that when you and I eat McDonald's, it's different than Donald Trump probably has like a portion meal because that's what he eats.
Yeah, but I'm trying to
go and it's like go off the rail. I go fucking. I spend $40 at McDonald's.
Dude, I'm trying to say like
it in my face.
You're saying that he stopped, like he noticed something. He noticed a change in his body. How do you notice a change in your body when your body looks like that?
I don't think he noticed a change in his body. I think someone got a hold of him and they're like, seriously,
stop eating it.
You're the president. You have a responsibility to be healthy. You stop this.
The Diet Cokes, the Big Macs, the fried chicken. let's switch it up for a couple days at least. And supposedly he's lost some weight. And
Wait, you know that to be a fact? That
yeah, it was like a story in like mainstream newspapers that he has cut out the fast food that he almost exclusively lived on.
I've always thought that was like a story they said to make him sound like...
No, he admitted. He's like, I almost exclusively, like, he KFC, McDonald's was his favorite things to eat.
See, I feel like he seems like, from the 80s video, that he's the guy that goes to New York restaurants and eats like the finest, like choice of meats and bullshit. Doesn't make it that much healthier. Actually, it does. At least the food is nutritional. It might be covered in butter and stuff, but if it's an expensive restaurant, it's definitely got a lot more in it than McDonald's does.
But there were stories that he would spend he's not a huge fan of the White House and living in D.C., that he would spend his nights in the residency watching news, calling friends, and just eating burgers.
See, what burgers from his restaurant?
Like McDonald's.
Okay, that one freaks me out. I don't want to live in the White House either if I was the president. Obviously, it's a bad idea. According to Catherine, I think I'd be great. But at McDonald's, I'm very humble about it too. If I was going to get burgers at the hotel, why wouldn't I? I mean, is there anybody that eats McDonald's that wouldn't want a cheeseburger from the restaurant?
Room service.
Room service cheeseburger at a restaurant, at a hotel where Trump's staying.
Chef.
Is a really good burger.
Who, by the way, it's not just like the White House comes with a chef, who I'm sure will be amazing. You can hire whoever the fuck you want to be the White House chef. He's your chef.
Part of your staff, yeah.
His former campaign manager wrote a book about working with him. Corey Lewandowski said that Trump would order 2 Big Macs, 2 Filet-O-Fish sandwiches, and a chocolate milkshake, but he never ate the bread, which was the important part, said Lewandowski.
Oh, okay. So he's the well, look, I think there's a technique here where you can do it, where you do the that diet where you eat the meat
Atkins.
Yeah, the Atkins thing, but it fucks up your arteries and stuff. And maybe he has like some special doctor that gives him like artery breaking down pill things, or he gets like a valve clean out while he's asleep like Darth Vader, so you can keep doing that. Because I feel like he could you keep your weight. He wouldn't put on that much more weight. He would just be clogging his arteries.
I would imagine, though, say what you want about it, he's not putting on weight or this. That's a mess, naked.
Yeah, but I also
That's
feel.
a mess.
Yeah, see, but you think you're fat sometimes, and you're one of the more in shape people on the planet. So, yeah, if you were him, you would have called yourself a mess in the '80s. But everybody gets a little fat. I think, like,
I bet you're right.
He's not that bad. I saw a video the other day of him and his wife walking on grass, and she slipped, and he grabbed her, and he caught her, and he seemed like he had a little bit of
Michael
power for a second.
Douglas,
he didn't fall over with her,
Michael Douglas is probably about the same age, and I saw him, at least just in a towel in that Liberace movie. Granted, he's not shredded, but it's not a mess. I would imagine Donald Trump, it's like, oh my god, like titties down to the navel.
No.
I bet.
I thought that one statue that somebody made or whatever was probably pretty accurate, except for the penis.
He's just a fat old man. That's not, And when you're an old man saying you're fat, it's kind of like, it's a little bit mean. Because, you're not fat, you're...
Big boned.
No, because you get a little loose, so your gut wants to come out a little bit more. But if you're fucking 70, I mean, holy shit, dude. Basically, if you don't have a gut, you're holding it in. Because Father Time has pulled on it for a long time.
Or you're Stallone.
Yeah, and you can't... Yeah, and then you get videos of you know what I mean? Look at this dude, he's a freak. So he's not, on this grand scheme of people his age, he's not that weird. I think the only thing that's weird about that guy is the hair thing. I think it's such a weird thing for a guy to be... he's on Twitter and he's a part of this... Like he's talking about everybody in movies and famous people, so he knows what's going on in the world, and just chooses to have that wild thing stuck on his head. It's crazy that thing's on there. Like, why not do something with that?
At this point, he's stuck. But I'm really shocked. 15, 20 years ago, that he didn't get the best hair replacement. That he wouldn't do something.
Probably because if he did, there's no company that wouldn't tell everybody, and he can't live with that.
Yeah, maybe. But I mean, like a Joel McHale or a Jeremy Piven. There's people in Hollywood that no one told, but you clearly see, like, wow, you got amazing hair restoration. I don't know what you did, but that's...
Yeah, but
really
he also
awesome.
seems like he has like a gold. He likes gold rooms and stuff, and that's a very old school thing. Like he looks to me like he lives in his heyday, and you don't want to change anything.
That's not a bad point.
Too much.
Right, yeah.
I think it's a two-part thing, and I think that is certainly part of it. It's sort of like you tell one lie, it's like you get into it and you get into it, and now you've gone too far to back out. I also think, and this is really to his credit, he does not distinguish between, like, he's one of those, there's no such thing as bad publicity. I think he believes in the power of brands, obviously, putting the Trump name in gold and everything, and that stupid fucking thing is part of his brand. And as long as people are talking about him, he loves negative press almost as much as positive press because he just likes people talking about him. It's one more thing. Honestly, I think Gene Simmons kind of feels the same way about his hair.
Yeah.
He doesn't like it, but it's one more thing for people to talk about Gene Simmons for.
No, this is my natural color.
One other question, if he is, out of shape and whatever level, we know that office ages the shit out of people.
Man, I just think when it comes to like out of shape enough to die or something, that's ridiculous because he would already be dead. The only people that argue that are people that don't know what it's like to work, like chuck in a fucking 16-hour day or something. This guy is clicking in. I don't give a fuck what you all say. He's clicking in really long hours.
Agreed.
And the stress level would be just unimaginable.
Absolutely incalculable, the amount of stress.
And that would break most men at his age unless they were fit enough to handle it. So he must be.
And I do think that they monitor the president for that reason more so than probably any other person.
There's that video of him fighting, getting carried into a minivan. Oh!
Oh!
Zing! Snowflake! Go!
She did just break her wrist in a bathtub this past week.
Oh, what's she doing? Turning the tap on? Oh!
Disney Bill?
After looking like she fainted on some steps earlier in the week. She's had a rough trip to India right now.
Yeah, because she's about to die.
I hate her, but I think that's sad.
I'll be curious to
That's
see.
pretty gear.
I'll be curious to see the same way with
Not
Bob
as big
Dole.
as she is. Hey!
Bob Dole, one of the reasons they floated for why he couldn't be president is because he was too old. He wasn't up to it. And I just thought it was kind of a small victory on his part when Clinton was done and Bob Dole was still around being Bob Dole. So it's like, you guys were wrong about that. I mean, it was correct to say he is an 80-year-old man. I'd be curious to see if Hillary can form a coherent sentence in 4 or 8 years. Were they right or were they wrong? Because that was a big storyline. I don't know.
Same with McCain, that he was very old.
Same with McCain,
Yeah.
same with Pelosi.
I mean, how would she be able to defend the country right now with a broken wrist? How's she going to hit the button?
Right.
And be on the phone?
Right.
Takes 2 hands to do that.
That's just one of the world's problems.
Yeah.
Jason and Tully took home some homework and tried to get their kids to solve the rest of the world.
Ah, he turned the Zamboni.
The Titanic.
We're going to hit the wall for sure.
So like a week or so ago, you guys went home and recorded your kids answering some of the world's biggest problems. And we've got the answers. Now, of course, you don't need to guess what your kid is going to answer. But Tully, Mike, and Will, we're going to do Jason's kids first. If you guys want to guess what you think their answer will be, we'll tally up points. And then when Tully's kid guesses answers, Jason, you will be playing the game as well. It's on the games page.
This is both of Jason's children?
Yes, they are separated out. So
Who are now old? How old now?
9, 13.
Okay.
you're going to hear Katie.
This recording was when they were 8 and 12.
Big difference.
Yes.
You're going to hear Katie ask the question. Jason sometimes chimes in, and then you'll have a chance to guess what you think their answers are before we play their answers.
Okay, good luck. I know, right? Like, as I'm reading these, I'm like, okay, Katie,
I think
you say
round them all up and burn them.
So we got an answer from Tiger and Devin on this one.
Okay, so what do you...
Big locks.
Put them into space and blow them up.
Oh, that's good.
Man, I feel sorry for myself immediately as a parent. I mean, these people just do not want to communicate with the outside world. This is fucking his target answer.
Nice!
Right, so 2 different answers.
World peace in our lifetime.
Yeah.
Tiger's just been added to Trump's advisory board.
National security team.
Problem solved.
Okay, next question.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Happy
Get
face.
an answer from Tiger here.
Happy face emojis.
You get the smartest scientists, and they work with the car industry to make safe robots.
Ooh!
That's like actually just a decent plan.
Man.
You make happier robots to keep them under control.
Oh, you give them a chip in their head so that they explode if they do anything wrong.
Duh.
Oh yeah.
You idiots.
Nip it in the bud.
He seriously might get a call from Trump that he's on fire.
It's a good idea. Yep.
No points for you guys on that one.
Damn.
I know, right?
Tell them to hand over the cigarettes or we shoot them in the head.
Now you're right. 'Cause
Yeah.
I can't remember what he said, but I feel like he's somebody's in his ear. Like,
Wait, we take all the cigarettes and we put them in a hole and we burn them.
Because first I was just thinking of what my 6-year-old would say, but he's a little bit more advanced. Right?
okay, you've got 2 answers here, so you've got to, because you're going to get. I don't think they say the same thing.
Devin says that you make them all smoke a lot until they give it all up.
Nice.
She makes them. She says they should all have to watch Truth.org ads on YouTube. Set me straight.
Well,
She says they can smoke if they want to, but
okay.
they'll die.
Wait.
Yeah!
Yeah.
Will.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, right.
Whoa.
And then
really?
here comes fucking my son Donald Trump mini.
I think Tully gets a point.
I did say kill everybody.
That was literally what the president said earlier this week. He said that we will give death penalty to drug dealers.
I think he has said that he would beat me up and make me cry too, so it is similar. Here we go.
Ooh.
Just an answer from Tiger
Yeah,
here.
yeah, so you know who you're dealing with.
Make them wear gloves and shoot them in the face if they don't.
Hand sanitizer.
Make everything be vegetables.
Ooh.
There you go.
Well,
Yeah.
that would work too.
Like Hitler.
No Jew plans.
Next question.
Jesus.
I know, right?
This was a little tough.
Man.
This is Tiger, the only one that has an answer for it.
take all the money out of the banks and give it to the people.
Invest in Pokemon cards.
Ooh. He already does, so that makes sense.
Get rid of all the banks.
Nice.
There you go.
Politicians are not allowed in banks
Solved.
anymore. There you go. Last one for my kids.
Prius.
A big freezer.
Everybody has to recycle and stop pollution.
This is an answer from Devin.
Yeah, I think
I
think
keep
they've
my
all
answer.
they've all been brainwashed into that exact
I
answer.
keep my answer.
Yeah, everyone has to drive an electric car.
Wait.
No solution.
Man.
One more question for your kids.
Oh, God.
Open more schools.
Traveling schools.
Free college.
Boom! Oh! Wow!
I've got a couple questions here that Tiger answered that aren't kind of like world's problems, but see if
Okay.
you can guess his answer.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, The Rock.
The Rock.
The Rock.
Oh! Man, this is another show.
I can't believe kids know who Oprah is.
Yeah.
Other than Wrinkle in Time, she hasn't really been on TV in a while.
No, and Wrinkle in Time just came out.
Sucks dick.
And sucks.
Who wants
Okay.
to see that?
Here's another
Nobody.
random.
Kobe Bryant.
LeBron James.
Will?
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
You're crazy. I forgot, but you're crazy. That's ridiculous. Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that who picked him up by the leg?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's the only reason he said it, too. I don't think he knows who Kobe is. That's weird. I think he does, actually. Okay. Oh, my gosh.
AWOL Nation.
I'm gonna say
It's that or Metallica, sorry.
it's only.
It's a coin flip.
I don't even know
It's
what he said.
Metallica.
Death, Death, Die.
Yeah. He's been
And-
indoctrinated.
And then you have a quick clip here. Can you tell us who Tiger is impersonating?
China.
Donald Trump.
Bingo.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a point for you, Will. That was the Trump impression. Now we've got Tully's kid, and same kind of setup.
I don't know if he's going to say bringing the school to them or them going to the school.
Free candy?
It might involve the Black Panther. I'll just throw that out. All of these might involve the Black Panther. I don't remember either. This
Take
was a while ago.
teachers from the good schools and farm them out to the bad schools.
Get more good teachers.
Yeah. I'm sure Will's warmer.
That was my second
Did
guess.
anybody guess? Look it up to see what time the things.
I was going to guess that one.
It's a tough game.
get better ladies?
He might. Sounds about right, Dad.
Oh, wait, no. I say, look it up on your phone.
Wait.
Teach the men that women are just as good.
Get Spider-Man to beat the men into submission and humble them
Right.
into making women get equal pay.
Right.
Wow! Man, I thought I was embarrassed from a couple of answers of my kid. That is brutal.
I told his mom. This was a whole incident in our house because I told his mom that he said that, and she's like, "Do you think that your dad works harder than I do?" And he's like, "Maybe."
Oh, boy.
Women, am I right?
Right there. That guess who invented that.
Yeah.
Next question.
Ooh.
Let him out.
Black Panther beats him up.
Kill a lot of the people that are already in jail to make room.
Damn.
Well, there you go.
I mean,
Hey, that's not a bad idea too. Shit.
practical.
I should have thought of that. Next question.
So, are you afraid of cars that can drive themselves?
Yes, he is.
Man, he's gonna. I mean, he's not afraid of him. He just doesn't want. He wants to drive his own car.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He's
I
just
want to
like-
drive.
I feel like his dad's breaking his heart right now by trying to tell him that he's potentially not going to get to drive a car.
I agree.
No. Nice.
You tried to set the nightmare scenario in his mind, but he wasn't biting.
That's a ballsy kid. Next question. Kill them.
Unplug him.
Get human beings to work harder.
Did you ask the women to pull their share?
Yeah. All right, last one. This is where you get Darth Vader, but he doesn't. Wait, is he hanging out with Darth Vader? I mean, Star Wars guys. I would get Luke Skywalker, Stormtroopers. I would shoot ray guns at them and explode them with ray guns.
Use the Force.
Make more spaceships than they do.
Blasters. Laser blasters. Same answer as last. Yeah. That's what I was going to say.
Yep.
I mean, I was half right. You said laser or something at the start.
He's reflected deeply on this particular subject.
Yes.
Damn, man, that's some. What's that when you microdose or something?
He's got a cool voice. I've never really heard him speak recently, and he's got a cool voice. He's got a little bit of a raspy.
He's got a
thing.
cool little raspy thing. It's been there for a while.
Yeah,
and
it's awesome.
I hope it doesn't go away.
Yeah,
but I bet it will. People with naturally raspy voices are awesome.
Yeah.
Rod Stewart.
Rod Stewart talking shit about Elton John.
What?
Yeah, he said
Why?
that Elton John's quote-unquote retirement tour is a cash grab. He said it reeks of a cash grab.
Wait, as in he won't retire?
Yeah.
Just wants to sell tickets. And
I mean, I honestly don't think Elton will be around that much longer.
Cyndi Lauper is opening up for
Rod Stewart.
Rod Stewart
has
on
been
tour.
for a while.
And it basically kind of reflected the same thing.
Wait, she said that he's on a cash grab.
She's supporting Rod Stewart and saying that, I forgot what the quote was, but she's saying that, Elton John is, he's smart to think of doing that whole retirement thing.
I don't understand why anybody has to get mad at him about making a business move.
At this point in their career, everything Rod Stewart does is a cash grab. I mean, he
Yeah.
makes nothing but albums of standards.
Right.
It's not like he's writing new music, so I don't hate on him for it. He's making money. That's
Well,
what he does.
I assume he didn't go out of his way to say this. They go, "You're fucking old. Are you going to retire? Everybody else is retiring. Elton John's retiring," and he goes, "Well, that's stupid. We all know what Elton John's doing, right?" I'm assuming. It stinks of selling tickets.
I just think it's a weird negative thing to bring up when you're so accomplished and so fortunate in this point in your life and career to want to shit on somebody. I'd figure like at 70 when I get paid millions of dollars to go on the road and I've had 50 years of fan support that I wouldn't need to piss on somebody else who... I mean, okay, maybe this one's not the biggest, most pride, but he's fucking Sir Elton John. He gave us a lot. When he dies, he will be very missed.
They're releasing a covers album of Elton John hits.
Yeah.
It's coming out, I think, pretty soon, and it's amazing. The artists that they got to go. I mean, everyone is on this, and it just got me to realize, God, he fucking has so many unbelievable hits. I mean, he's a giant dick, but
yeah.
It's truly remarkable how many fucking amazing songs Bernie Taupin and Elton John made. It's
I think it's also kind of a badge that they're kind of reminding the world they're at that level that they can talk shit about each other.
Okay, maybe that.
Yeah, but there's an eloquent way to handle that question, even if that was the question.
Yeah, I just feel like
I'd watch that fight all day.
well, that's not going to go very long.
No, not
I've
at
seen
all.
Elton recently. He's not looking that.
No,
not looking physically like ready to go.
I've got Rod in that one.
He's a pretty healthy dude.
I actually saw Rod not too long ago too, and yeah, he looked like he could actually run around the block.
He's skinny ripped. He's little, but
skinny
skinny ripped.
He's not ripped, but he's fucking 70, and he can play. He can run. He's got legs.
70 something, bro.
And he knows how to use them.
This was news to me.
Different.
Apparently, Rod Stewart and Elton John have nicknames for each other.
Oh,
Rod calls Elton Sharon,
okay.
and Elton calls him Phyllis.
Because they're both divas.
I guess so. So he was talking to Andy Cohen, Rod Stewart, about the Elton John thing and said, "I did email her and said, what again, dear?" And I didn't hear anything back. So apparently they refer to each other in full time in feminine pronouns. And
Or they're both
names.
pretty gay.
He does look exactly like my aunt.
Who does?
Elton John.
Well, hey man, when you get to that age, see if you don't look like an old lady.
You think
Especially if you have to choose to wear a wig. What?
You think Rod's pretty gay?
I think he has, flexed on both sides. I wouldn't say he's, like a gay guy.
I think he's truly had so much pussy he just had to. He had at some point.
I feel, yeah, sure, there's people like that too. I also think there's people who just want to try everything.
Yeah.
I was told he had to have his stomach pumped.
Yeah.
Richard Gerbil's
In fourth grade?
Gere's gerbil was in there.
4th grade, I was told that.
I just think at that point, those guys were doing everything.
I heard that when they got the gerbils out of Rod Stewart's stomach, they pumped them, and a bunch of John Bon Jovi's jizz came out of them.
I heard that they had to pump some gerbils that came out of him.
And when Billy Idol heard that news, he wrecked his motorcycle and died.
And that's when they replaced him with the new Luke Skywalker.
Crashed into Rob
Andrew
Lowe.
WK is Katy Perry.
Another classic rock news. This had already been announced, but now it is official. Ringo Starr is a knight, Sir Ringo.
So did everybody
Peace
get
and
knighted?
love. Peace and love.
Yeah, I saw the picture. He's flashing the piece. Yeah. Him and Paul as the two remaining Beatles. Who else was ceremonial? I think Bono got some ceremonial, pre-knighthood thing. I don't know if he can get fully knighted because he's not actually English, but I don't know what I'm talking about because they're part of the Commonwealth. I don't know.
Bono.
Yeah.
What? That's it.
Sir Bono.
What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, you're a grown man.
Yeah.
Your name Bone.
Yeah, stop accepting knighthoods. You know what I mean? Fuck off. Go mow the lawns or something. Go be. You know what you should figure out? What it's like to be a normal person before you die.
How did Adam and Larry not?
Oh no.
Yeah.
I'm Larry. I'm like, fucking play more of this shit than you do.
Speaking of
Jumping around the
legends,
fucking rug, asshole.
after all this time, finally definitive proof of the existence of the Loch Ness Monster.
Squatch! Oh, shit. I'll take
Fuck
it.
off.
No, I saw it. Squatch, dead Squatch on the ground, a baby Squatch. Proves that it was real. Because that's a Squatch.
Take a gander at the Loch Ness Monster. Turns
Boom.
out they were looking in the wrong place all along. It washed up in Georgia.
Yeah.
Well, he could have gone there. Because of the secret hole in the lake that goes to Georgia.
Right.
He took the midnight train.
With the devil.
The midnight.
Yeah, so there it is.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, couldn't be anything other than a baby Loch Ness Monster, so that's exciting.
Yeah,
Can
even
move on
though
to bigger and better
I mean,
things.
It's not an attractive animal, whatever it is.
It's actually seaweed, but yeah,
It
sure.
could
Like
be
this
an
monster.
inner tube or anything.
Yeah, no, it's netty.
Apparently, it's also not uncommon in salt water for when things die for them to shrivel up before they wash up.
And turn into netty.
Yep. Speaking of things getting gross after they die, the remains of 240 people were found in barrels buried in Mexico.
Holy mackerel.
Were they bad people or what?
The guy who put them there was.
Wait,
Mm-hmm.
it's like a mass murderer guy that put him in barrels?
A hitman known as the Soup Maker.
Oh,
That sounds
man.
scary, dude.
Because he
Holy
makes you into
shit.
soup.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Wait,
Oh,
his name
man.
his name was the Soup Maker because people were aware of it?
Soup Maker.
Santiago Meza Lopez, nicknamed the Soup Maker, was arrested in 2009. I think they probably started calling him this after he was arrested and charged.
With 700 murders or something.
He was arrested for 300 murders
Oh my god.
and confessed to disposing of hundreds of victims' bodies. Judging by the amount of organic material, officials think closer to 650 people are buried in these mass graves in Tijuana.
Jesus.
Holy fuck.
And it's one guy.
Oh, that's so scary.
El Pozolero.
And so, but all the people that he's killing, they're bad guys too, right?
I don't know.
Not necessarily.
These sicarios and stuff, they if it's bad for business, if there's just locals, you're dead.
Yeah, wrong place, wrong
You're,
time.
yeah, you just can't. You live here. You live near our traffic trade, like our trade. Sorry,
You see
dead family.
You see something, maybe you take out somebody's girlfriend or somebody to make a point. I remember reading about when they were doing assuming they're not doing it anymore, the tunnels that they had built under, that some guy would like apply for a job in Tijuana, and then he'd show up and they'd be like, yeah, that's not the real job. The real job is building this tunnel, and then the guy would build the tunnel and then they'd kill him when he was done.
Whoa.
There are also a bunch of time. I saw this documentary about cops. Even if they play ball, when they're done with even if the cop is crooked, they're like, yeah, well, we've gotten as much out of you as we possibly can. This town's dry, dead. Your whole family dead.
Wow. Really works out to kill people in that game, huh?
It's an unbelievably cruel and callous world. The Mexican drug lord. It's off the charts. Even if you just do like a little, I'll read a little bit here, I'll watch a documentary here. It's so heartbreakingly cold. Like, you can't believe that shit happens on Earth. It's like ISIS and stuff. When you hear the details, you go, wow, how do they share a planet with normal people?
For money, too.
Yeah.
You know? Which isn't even as good as an ideology.
That's why I grow my own Coke.
That's right. Keep it organic.
Fair trade.
Yeah, I just chew the tree.
I just get the bottles.
I don't have the brain to chemicalize it. I just screw the cocoa trees and I just chew the leaves at home.
Yeah.
Look,
Just for the taste of it.
The actors in Narcos are now getting personal security detail just because they're in a show about it and doing scouting in Mexico, location scouting. They're like, it's so dangerous, we're fucked.
Why don't we kill all those people?
It's not our country. I mean, and we're not.
So what? We're in
not,
other countries fighting?
I understand, but we're actively in some type of combative relationship with them. I don't want to say we're at war, but we're in some type of conflict. Mexico's
But
an
we're
ally.
also in
Mexico's-
some kind of relationship with them too, obviously. Because otherwise they wouldn't be getting away with it.
But Mexico's an ally. I mean, Mexico is a friendly country to us.
Yeah, but don't you think that there's somebody in somebody's pocket for them to exist in the first place? I mean, why isn't the Mexican government dealing with them? Because they're in cahoots with
Mexican
them. Right?
government's very, 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 very corrupt, and for the most part, they're helpless against. They would need like the United States or someone to come in and completely take over, and that's
Yeah, I remember what their president said. Trump said whatever. Fucking everybody can imagine whatever he said, and the Mexican president goes, "Yeah, it's really a fucking shame so many millions of Americans want drugs.
Yeah.
If Americans weren't buying all these drugs, they wouldn't. That's where it's going."
It's a terrible recipe. It's a perfect recipe for a horse because they're connected to us by land.
Yeah.
And we are the biggest drug users by far. Not even a close second. Americans use more drugs than anyone.
If we were just wait. drugs here,
is that really the case?
Oh yeah.
Wait, Brazilians don't use as many drugs as us?
Not even in the same fucking 100th of a percentile.
What, power to weight ratio even?
And also, you got to remember how many. With 360-some million Americans.
That's what I'm saying, because there's more of us, so then it doesn't count. I'm saying,
you know what?
Like,
I don't know. That's a good point. I don't know, like, if percentage-wise...
Because that makes a huge difference, what you're saying. Like, you're just saying American people like drugs more. I find that hard to believe. I just think there's way more of us, and we have money.
And we have more money.
Over 90% of the drugs, narcotics and legal ones, are done in America. On the globe.
Come on, Europe.
Cocaine, heroin... opiate painkillers, psychiatric drugs, prescribed like over 9 out of 10 drugs that are done on the planet are done in the United States.
Is that because you're bored? Because you're rich?
I think we don't have real problems, and a lot of that's true. And then also we're wealthy. It's a wealthy, affluent, and I don't think enough is said that everyone's always like, well, the French, the French, they love their wine, and Italians, they like to talk with their hands. Americans are fucking crazy. That's just it. Culturally, we are way more of outlaws than other people. We're way more adventurous in a lot of ways. And there's just something about that comes along with being American that I think goes very well with self-destruction. Like that need to punish your body. And drugs and getting high. Like, when I was a little kid, every single one of us played the game where your friend... like you hold your chest and you do that thing.
I get in big trouble for that.
You spin around as fast as you can because you want to get dizzy, and then your friend, does the hyperventilation thing because you get a buzz. Like, we just have a passion for getting fucked up, and I think that goes hand in hand with it.
It looks like, according to this article here, that we are per capita the third biggest cocaine user in the world. 2.5% of Albanians use coke. 2.34% of people in Scotland, and we're 2.3 right behind them. But then you have lots and lots and lots of people, way more people than there are in Scotland or in Albania.
Albania's intense.
Well, I got Albanian friends in Australia. I haven't been to Albania, but I've been pretty close. They like cocaine.
Albania's an intense place.
He actually was here the other day hitting me up, and I was like, why does he want to hang out with me? Because we don't talk to each other anymore, and it was because he's going to Vegas and wanted to know if I knew if I could get him a table. I'm like, man, it's been a long time since we've hung out, hasn't it? Yeah. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I don't know any nightclubs, don't know anybody. You know what I mean? Like, nope, nobody, not one club. I'm like, I don't even know what club there is, let alone a person who would get you a fucking table. I don't know what year it was where that happened anyway. But you know how it is in Australia. Everyone thinks I'm best friends with Pink, and I just call the phone. She sings a song to me.
Did your mom go to a Aussie rules football soccer game with Eric Bana yet?
No, I didn't. I'm not doing that. I'm staying the fuck out of that whole thing.
He's a beautiful man, isn't
he? He is.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
We have a beautiful guest who is arriving and standing by. Mackerel. So I think we need to take a quick break.
All right, we'll be back.
Holy mackerel. Oh, yeah, I saw that video when she got the cover. It's very emotional.
Cameras? Extras? Okay. that your stomach?
Yep.
Do you need some food?
Yeah. It's my new thing. I don't eat until it's too late.
That's not a good plan.
Well, usually Katie made me breakfast, but now she's fucked, so. Postmates for one is too sad.
Do you want me to run down and get you a sandwich or something? Or?
Oh my god.
Oh.
I think I'd rather just have two angles of her.
Okay. It's tipsy, so.
I'll watch it.
Can you? I can't even tell. It's hard to see on this camera. What is that angle? Is that it should be angled down more?
Are you the Aussie?
I am, yeah.
I'm an Aussie too.
Uh-oh.
But you're not interviewing me, so it's alright.
Oh, that would have made it easier.
I know, exactly. Well, hopefully I've taught her a few Aussie things.
Oh, really?
I hope.
And she's a world traveler, so I'm sure she knows. Come on in. Hey.
Oh, sorry.
Hey,
Jason.
Danielle.
Sorry.
Right.
Am I here?
Yeah, that's good. Where is she? You have to deal with an Australian all the time,
Yes, unfortunately. I'm kidding.
right? So annoying. You done other shows here today already?
Here?
Yeah.
No.
Just this one?
Just this.
Do you need water or anything?
No, I'm good.
There's also so many opportunities, more opportunities now than there was.
Than there ever have been, yeah. They're exponentially increasing.
But you're right. I mean,
Hello. Hi, Tully. Nice to meet you.
Danielle.
I am Mike too. Nice to meet you.
Do you need a beverage?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
1 minute, no pressure.
No pressure.
Millions of people in 1 minute. It's complete lies. Probably like 10 people listening.
But they're rowdy on Twitter.
Okay.
It's super
Yeah.
intense. Yeah, man, welcome back to the show. Everyone's like trying to act cool in the studio. Trying to just play it smooth and shit.
Totally casual.
I'm not intimidated at all. I see people as pretty as that all the time, so I don't really give a shit.
Not staring at the ground.
But it is great to have you here nonetheless.
Hello, Danielle Herrington.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Another day, another Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition cover model.
Yeah. Now, there are a dime a dozen around here. and don't even get me started about my personal life.
Oh
They're
my god.
always around me. So I'm
bet.
surprised I haven't met you in my travels, because I'm always bumping into them. Yeah. So it's got to be fun, right?
Oh, of course.
But it also seems like you've got to do a lot of work. Seems like you got people telling you to do stuff. See, your assistant's Australian. That's got to be annoying.
So annoying.
Right, so
yeah, it's fun. I'm enjoying it. I mean, I've never done so much press in my life.
right.
But yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Is it nothing pissing you off yet?
No, but I feel like in New York it was much different, because it's just like you just go right after the other.
Yeah.
But like this time in LA, it's like kind of like spread out, so you get like 2 or 3 hours to like rest.
So it's more relaxing.
No, it makes me sleepy. I'd rather just go.
Oh, you'd rather
and, like,
just get it all out of the way.
Get it all out of the way and then be done. But then you have to like do an interview, and then you wait like 2 hours, and I'm kind of sleepy and then kind of not, and So I'm just like up and down, kind of.
Are you finding like a pattern of? Because I found that when I first started doing radio, that people do they start drinking coffee a lot, and they do all these other because they've got like secrets of like how to be perky, how to. Did people give you advice on how to handle all this bullshit?
No, not really.
Bastards.
They just asked me if I want coffee or not.
They just
Are
throw
you
it in the
want
wolves?
something to drink? Yeah.
Aren't you kind of relatively new to just modeling in general?
Yes.
Compared to most people who'd be in your position.
Well, yeah. So I've been in New York for almost 2 years now. So that's kind of like where like I kind of like started like really getting like big jobs. But I've been modeling. I started modeling when I was like 13. I got signed to my first agency when I was 13. And then,
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
You're a
so,
veteran. I'm totally wrong.
Is that
it's
is that
been a-
common
What?
to sign to an agency at that young an age?
Yeah. They kind of start developing
Duh.
that young. Yeah.
How come you're not stuck up?
I'm
I can
from
see it in your
Compton.
eyes.
I'm from Compton. I
Yeah,
can't
but
be
you're
stuck up.
not-
You can't be stuck up from Compton.
Yeah, because you're not like you don't have like diva face or nothing. You're not like trying to give
No.
me
Why would I? I'm
because
so
everybody
happy.
else would.
I'm on the cover of Sports Illustrated. I'm so happy. Like no, none of that.
So does that mean
Also,
you got?
my family. They're like,
That's
there's
what
none
I
of
was-
that going on.
That's what I was about to say. So you must have some
Absolutely.
grounded parents.
Of course.
So when all this starts popping off, they're immediately starting to give you advice because they would be feeling a panic come on. I mean, I've got a 13-year-old daughter. Like boys, she's got a boyfriend. You know what I mean?
She has a boyfriend.
Yeah, but they don't. Look, yeah. And he came up to me and fucking did the handshake where he fucking
No.
palmed me on the back.
he didn't.
Yeah, and he come off me and I'm like, you fucking just do that? And he's like, it's nice to meet you, man. I'm like, nice to meet me, motherfucker.
Right.
Like, I will break you. But I didn't say that. I just.
Wow.
But this is the world that we live in.
Wow, it's bold.
But when they get, I actually kind of liked it because the other boyfriend that she had, I went to a movie where they went to a movie separately, and he wouldn't look at me. He was terrified.
Oh.
And I'm like, come on, man.
That's
Like,
cool.
I get I look weird, but I'm not. I'm okay. But
No, you're terrifying to a
this guy's
13-year-old boy.
one. The very first one, she wasn't interested in, and I purposely vibed him at a play. I purposely did. I gave him the weird psycho face that I had psycho face before I turned to him. So I was like, and he looked away
Freaking
like I
out.
didn't see it, and I was like, I just fucked with like a 10-year-old's head for sure. But now I try to be friends with them, and they're a little bit confident. But getting back to you, when they get older, and then there's boys interested, I feel like you're a model to you're on the magazine, on the cover. Everybody wants to go out with you, whether they have the balls to come up and ask you, but everybody is attracted to you. As a father, that I'm now more terrified than I've ever been in my life. Even if you're a very well-raised person, is he, now that this has happened, is he like a little more scared?
My dad?
Yes.
Not from what I know. Maybe he is. He doesn't tell me about it.
He stays calm.
He's pretty calm. He just chills.
No, did he give you any advice about all this stuff?
Yeah, he's like, oh, don't let these knuckleheads
Okay.
get to you, basically. But
Have you heard from any high-powered old creeps through the grapevine or anything? Because I feel like there's obviously people love pretty girls, but I feel like once you have that accolade, like you're Miss America or you're the cover of some, that's when I feel like, I'm not saying Donald Trump, but the Donald Trumps of the world seem to really like the girl who has the title too, and they kind of look at the cover of Sports Illustrated as sort of like a Denny's menu. Have you gotten some overtures that so-and-so who runs so-and-so studio would be very interested in taking you to lunch sometime?
no.
Really?
No. I haven't got any of that.
Oh,
Not
good.
yet.
I'm glad the
Not
world's not as
yet.
creepy as I assume it is.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I get creepy DMs all day, but not from anybody that I can...
Do you have Compton celebrity friends?
No.
Really? I would have thought
Are you
that
thinking of Kendrick?
or Odd Future, like a member of Odd Future or something,
No.
or
I mean,
Dre.
No.
No.
No, I met Kendrick, I met Dre before.
Did they keep
but
it cool?
before this,
Sure.
no, I haven't actually spoke to any of them, so.
You don't get any DMs from the game showing his half chub on in his boxer shorts. Like, oh, I
my
swear to
God.
God, this is what it looks like flaccid. Like, come on,
I
man.
actually did get a DM from the game, but that was before the cover. That was a long time ago, actually.
Well, how old were you when he DM'd
I was
you?
old.
Okay.
I'm 24, so
Okay.
that was only like
Well, you said a while
few
ago
years
you were
ago.
old. And was it an eggplant or was it just like
What?
what?
It was none of that. It was just like, hey, basically.
I want to
literally
hear.
just said hi, Danielle. Like that was it.
And did you say hi or?
I said, what did I say? I said like something like hey or like what or something.
He's
like,
giving you. He gave you an opening.
Yeah, but
it was like hey.
It was honestly nothing. Like it was.
Does he follow up with do you like vegetables?
Yeah. No. if you had to pick a vegetable, what would be your favorite? I just want someone who's like one of the prettiest girls in the world. I want everybody else to hear what your opinion is of a man who posts photos of, in my opinion, a bit of a chubby thing to social media where your friends are on there. Because, I mean, if a girl wanted to see my thing, okay, maybe we're talking, but what about my friend Tully over here who follows me on Instagram? Does he need to see me packing? What is your what is your opinion of this?
Of a guy that would just post it to the public?
Yes, the eggplant on Instagram that the game
publicly.
did. Yes. Are you not show her the game's consecutive back-to-back Instagrams of eggplants on not on DMs. Hey everybody, all the millions. This is what I look like in the morning.
I don't know.
I really like you. You don't follow. She doesn't seen any of the photos of the game. Here he is.
Oh, okay. Right. I have seen that.
The vegetable came flashing back.
Oh, that DM.
Right. What is your opinion of that? I want other. I honestly.
Okay, just like
When
if
you say
that was
that.
my like, I think it's kind of unnecessary. Like if that was like my boyfriend or something, I would be like, what the heck? Like, what are you doing? Like.
But
that's how I feel in general. So
but if it was, what if you were single and he was a single man? Would you be like, oh, does he have a chance of get? Because I'm trying to get the men that are listening right now that think that might have that works. Because I would think that it doesn't work. I would think that would be a bad move.
That wouldn't work for me. No.
Okay,
no.
Right.
Just keep it to that.
This changes everything.
Right, you're going to be erasing a couple of Instagram photos, Michael. Right.
Plan B.
I just never got that you would, like I felt like all the people that might be interested in me would want to get to know me first before they saw me half shafted,
Yeah.
It's like like if I met a girl at a train station and I was like, hey, you're so cute. You better not have a half shaft going when you're starting that conversation, or your odds are going down dramatically. Because you just come across vulgar and rude.
Yeah.
And he's like, good morning, my fellow followers. Here is my boner.
Women like it. So, he's doing it for a woman. He don't care about you guys.
That was my question, because you're the woman.
Women like it. I'm not going to say me personally, but...
No. But
certain women like it.
Yes.
This is the women we all care about. We care about
right.
Yeah.
The women we care about.
If some woman calls in and says, "I think he's hot for donut," I don't know you.
Right.
I know her. She's the fucking hottest chick I've ever seen in my life.
God.
If she thinks that it's stupid, then I'm like, yeah, I haven't done that. I've done everything else stupid, but I haven't done that one yet. Just trying to give myself a pat on the back.
Oh my god.
So you flying around the world yet? You do that yet?
A little bit. I went to the Bahamas. I went to Fiji before for the Sports Illustrated.
Yeah.
London. Not too many places.
Not too many, but is it about to? Do you start traveling the world now because of?
Oh yeah, I plan on it.
Are you looking forward to that?
Of course. I haven't been many places.
You went to Australia, yeah?
No.
Oh, you just hung out with an Australian.
My agent.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Met them all.
Yeah. We're pretty much the same all the way around.
It's pretty cool.
Do you get to enjoy it? Because I feel like there's always that balance of like if you I don't know what you do for fun, but if you have a whole bunch of drinks or whatever the next day, like a lot of models would be like juicing and making sure they're hydrated and getting all their beauty rest, which is good for being a model, but not as much fun when you're traveling the world.
Wait, what's your question?
So, do you get to party when you travel around, or is it all business?
Of course. There's times for business and there's time to, party and have a good time. So, I think it's just, all about balance,
Do you get to go to really, really cool parties now?
Yeah. I would hope so. I
Like what?
I haven't done any parties, just like the launch party. That's the only thing I've done so far.
Can you actually drink enough to wake up in the morning and look different?
What do you mean? And look different?
Can you have a bad day face?
Yeah.
Bullshit.
You really? I mean, it's not. Because
like if you drink too much, I wake up like really puffy. Like
okay.
You know.
Can you? Have you ever posted a photo of you looking
like,
puffy?
Looking puffy? No. No.
Because my wife's a pretty girl too, and she's like, "Oh, I look terrible today," and I'm like, "Fuck off." So I feel like your puffy face in the morning is like, get me a microscope and maybe I'll tell the difference. I'm used to myself,
obviously, so it's just kind of like, like I've had better days, you know.
But as a model with now this kind of, the swimsuit, your cover, like if you have a bad day, are you more prone to want to hide yourself because of you want people to see you at your peak of beauty at all times, or are you like, fuck off, I'm going to the grocery store?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like all like glitz and glamour every day. I'm just kind of like chilling, you know.
Are you different from the other models you're around? Because I think they're way more like the people that Jason just described. There are girls like the kind of girl Jason just described who you run in circles with, kind of, right? I've known models who are really like that.
That are just like what? They just like hide themselves like, oh, I can't be seen?
Nah, bitches.
Yeah, they're just not real.
Catty bitches.
Yeah, of course.
And they're going to become a few because you're the new one on the scene. I know, you're in it all the time. I know. This is the highest level of what they're doing, and what they're doing is a catty scene in the first place.
I mean, girls can get catty, but you just gotta.
You're probably by the time you got
kill
to
them with kindness. That is literally the key.
Nice.
That literally it like messes them up.
But by the time you're on the cover of Sports Illustrated Swimsuit edition.
But
you probably dealt with catty bitches in high school. I mean, I'm sure
I think
you're not the most popular
worse.
person to other women because of the way you
look. It was worse for me in high school. Now it's like all good. I mean, especially in this issue, someone told me that they were like, it's probably been like one of the most supportive issues that they've seen. Like as far as like the girls in the issue, like supporting and like just actually being genuinely happy for me to get the cover.
You sense that.
Yeah, well, that's what.
That they're genuine.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, everybody. I mean, you never know.
Yeah. I know, right?
Do you get a call from like old timers, like does Chrissy Brinkley or Tyra Banks call you up and be like, "Don't make this mistake"?
Tyra Banks, she texted me.
She did.
Actually,
nice.
She revealed the cover to me. Like.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
But then personally, also.
She texted me and she was just asking like how I was, and I went with her to the Black Panther premiere.
Yeah.
So I got to like go to her house and like ride with her to the premiere and stuff.
How's her house?
Oh, it's amazing.
Is there there's like an elevator up to her part of the hill or something, right? I've heard that there's elevators involved with even getting inside.
I went with her in New York. Which one?
Oh,
she has many houses.
Yeah, I'm talking about the one in the hills.
See, I don't know about
any of that.
She'll go to that one later. So
next week.
After this, and you grow up, and I mean, obviously, your modeling career, who knows how far you can go, but do you have any other aspirations to do any other accomplishments in your life, or are you just zoning in on just being a model right now?
I'm just taking this all in. I mean, this is like the biggest moment of like my career, so I'm just honestly really trying to enjoy it. It's only been a month since the cover.
Right.
I just want to I'm from Compton, so I just want to encourage people and inspire and like kind of be a light for them to let them know that no matter where you come from, you can make it and do whatever you want to do.
Yes, you can.
And you have a charity that you're...
You do?
The charity I'm doing is hosting the event is tonight. I went to go visit their campus yesterday. It's called A Place Called Home. And basically they're kind of like an after-school program. And they also have like a high school for like kids who are homeless and who don't really have like family like that. And they literally offer so many things. They do dance class, they do art class, they teach you how to do music and like record people, and it's just so much that they do. And I'm so happy to be a part of it. And I'm just so happy to like further my relationship with them. I want to continue working with them and help out any way I can.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, have you ever been in a fight?
No, I've never been in a fight.
You never punched anybody in the face?
Never punched anybody in the face. I wish. I'm kidding.
Ellis Mania.
Yeah, you want to be in Ellis Mania? I have this event every year where
the boxing event?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah, you should scrap. I'll get like another girl's like, you know what I mean? Cute.
Let's do it.
Do you have an arch nemesis?
In the face and the money goes to
No,
charity.
I don't have an arch. I don't have any.
Oh yeah, that's not true because I heard Christy Brinkley was talking shit on you.
No,
Mhm.
she's the sweetest.
Just tweet
She's
it.
the sweetest.
What's
I
up?
met her.
These young bucks better recognize.
Get a couple of bottles in out McPherson. The phone calls.
Mate, this bitch is a bit chatty. Yeah, but look, there's an Ellis Mania event right there. Those
Is it
are...
really? Okay, no, I don't want to do it. I'm backing out.
Yeah, that one got...
That one's serious.
Yeah, it got serious. They trained for, was it 3 months?
It was a while.
Oh, really?
They got a little too serious.
They got...
I boxed a little bit to like work out, but see, that's like really intense.
Yeah. Yeah, you might be... Yeah.
Come on. I imagine you smashing Kate Upton.
Ooh! That's a great fight. Great
cool.
event.
Yeah, I don't know how to handicap that one. That's a legit matchup.
No.
That seems fair. Alright, well maybe just come and watch. We have other events where you don't get hit, but anyway.
I have this like weird vision of, and maybe this is from a generation past, but I mean, as a layperson, I have this weird vision of the world of modeling, especially when you get to your level, being like wildly unhealthy. Is that all just Hollywood bullshit, or is that
Unhealthy
is it,
as in what?
like the
Like
the drugs and the like the unhealthy way that it's at least portrayed in movies and in television, like that.
Like
Girls,
it's
they
just
starve themselves and they do drugs and they are narcissistic to the point of being wildly dysfunctional. The whole kind of the cliche idea of
I mean,
of models.
yeah, I think it can be just like with anything as far as like rappers and like all that stuff as well too. Yeah, it can be unhealthy, but I don't live my life like that.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty healthy.
It doesn't seem like girls need to be as skinny as they did for a little bit there too. It seems like a little bit.
No, I'm so happy. I'm not. I mean, I got curves.
I was gonna say
I'm slim, but I got curves.
Yeah, you don't look like.
You see that?
Yeah, you're allowed to eat food.
That's right.
Exactly.
But I'm like, that's why I love this magazine. I'm so happy to be on the cover and a part of it because this is what they celebrate, and this is like literally what I got rejected for my boobs and butt, like just
wow,
curvy. So
okay, because people are finally
They're finally catching on.
Not by straight males. You didn't get rejected by.
Yeah, because I can.
But like modeling was like my dream. I wanted to,
Yeah.
So it's like I would get rejected so much, like since 13 to.
That's. I want to use the word funny, but it's probably a better word for it. But it is funny that, I mean, you haven't changed, and all of a sudden that, it is funny to point out you are healthy, and I think at one point I probably didn't analyze it because I didn't. I knew some girls that could be super skinny and they did eat food, but most girls to be that skinny had to do a thing that was probably not good for them. And now it seems like girls just look like. I mean, you just look really fit, and that was the way
I'm
you were
naturally
born.
really muscular. So
does that mean if you lift weights, you're one of those people that gets
just
jacked
bulk up?
instantly?
Yeah.
Okay.
I should do it.
That's me.
So you have to not do it.
So I just do like a lot of cardio.
Right.
I box a little bit, but mostly just like cardio and stuff like that. And
So
healthy diet.
You have like a boxing coach?
Not exactly, not like a full-on boxing coach, but we do just
Do pad work?
Yeah.
Hit pads and shit?
Yeah.
You like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun, right?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I think you're the smart one. I got into it and I was like, man, I don't want to get hit in the head as well. And looking back, it's probably not the greatest choice.
Oh my god!
But I do fantasize about a year of a life where I just hit the pads. Every time I go boxing, I just go hit the paddy pads.
Wait, so you actually go and like fight?
I'm a full blown moron.
Really?
Yeah, people punch me in the head all the time.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm sad when I can't go to the gym and have people punch me in the face.
Are you really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And then there's this weird thing where you know that if you get punched in the face, it makes you sad. So I'm just stuck in the middle.
Wow, so you're just always sad?
Yeah. Or trying to find some other thing to fill the gap.
Oh my god.
Man, do you really have to bring?
You?
What
Oh God, is that you?
Show the one where I win. Don't show the Shane Carwin fight. It doesn't matter. Yeah. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I did fight a really big giant man, and he knocked me unconscious.
No way.
Yeah.
And you just love it still?
Well, I didn't love the actual bit where I was unconscious.
No, I'm still now, I've been unconscious. Yeah, I'm gonna do it again. Go back in the ring.
I don't I'm worried because I have children about getting punched in the head a lot. But I do really, really love boxing, and I really do love the fighting part. But not fight. I don't like fighting people in the street. I just like the actual fighting sport.
The sport of it.
Yeah. But yeah, there is
Wow.
that. The scientific proof. Thank you, Andrew, for making me look cool in front of Sports Illustrated cover model. It is too late. It is gone. Would you? I know that's just for shits and giggles.
What?
Would you date a man who is as hideous as me? Like if that was very funny and amusing, because obviously
If
you're
I
not
liked you, yeah.
right. I'm
Of course.
dateable, right?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously
Why
he's the
not?
more dateable guy in the room, right? He's very handsome.
Yeah, you're handsome.
That hair's crazy, right? Don't you think his hair's really good?
It's like smashed down, kind of, but yeah.
Yeah, so I'll fluff it up for you if you've
Yeah,
ever been.
fluff it up for me.
I just like
Show me something.
Okay.
I just like making brown people go red.
Yes.
This is fun over here. You're changing color.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
It's,
'cause he was freaking out that you were coming.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's one of those people that really understands the magnitude of your
Mhm.
power. I live in a dark
Well,
world.
no, I mean, listen, there's plenty of beautiful models, but I find you to be particularly one of the better looking people that's ever walked the face of the earth.
Okay, this is
Thank you.
way too far. I'm fully creeped out.
Yeah, this is super awkward.
Yeah. I was, I'm marrying children. You didn't get any of that across. You're married
I'm
with children
not,
too.
no,
You're just saying you
funny.
live for her. This is weird shit, man.
Recently
I'm
got
sorry.
divorced yesterday.
She hasn't got the. She
10
hasn't,
minutes ago.
she hasn't got the text message yet, but it has happened. Trust
Oh
me.
my God.
Yeah. That's fair enough. People ever do like boys confess their love in front of you and need to be like?
Yeah, I mean,
Pull
it makes
away.
me really nervous, honestly.
I agree.
It makes me very uncomfortable.
It should.
Yeah.
Yeah, he makes us uncomfortable all the time.
Yeah, it's a little bit more appropriate when it's directed at you. You're pretty, but when he does it at us, it's
Oh
very
my God.
confusing.
Yeah, I feel bad about it. So
Yeah.
sometimes I just shoot it around the room.
Oh my
He's just
God.
looking for love in all the wrong places.
And you don't want his number. Trust me, you won't get
Oh my
text
God.
messages about how are you doing. He sends you things that are very, very
I'm
inappropriate.
Like
pretty
what?
confident that I would not send Danielle the stuff that I send you guys.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What do you guys send each other?
Okay, each other,
horrible.
not true. Everybody who has his number receives.
Okay, what do you send them?
It's
He doesn't even want to say it.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna.
Like,
you have no chance.
Pictures are
No.
like memes, or is like
No,
nasty?
like
Oh,
the
no.
worst, the worst
Oh my
things
God.
you could
Was it like
find.
nasty?
She thinks
thing.
memes. No, we're talking about
I'll say this.
bumholes inside out,
Yeah.
dangling. And,
Oh.
and this innocent man over here who really
My ears.
producer, right? Your ears. You don't want to have his. I know. I'm sorry.
I would say this: it's not. It's never violent. It's
Uh-huh.
always just like sexual depravity.
Okay,
You know,
okay.
People that brought it
Okay.
upon themselves.
Tell that to the person's bumhole. Not violent. Look, we gotta move on. We gotta move on.
We should let you go.
I know,
I think,
Daniel.
I think you've done your time.
I told you to be. Look, that's it. We did it. It's been great to have you on.
Thank you.
Can I take a photo with you after this?
course, of
Because I'm
course.
going to show this to who would I? I'm going to show anyone. I
The
just
world,
realized.
Jason.
But show. Okay, that will make boys think that I'm cool because
Right.
you're right, and I'll be
Right.
like, yeah, well, you can't have me, boys. So too bad. That's how I say.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah,
the
mission
caption?
accomplished.
What?
Danielle Herrington, you are the 2018 Sports Illustrated Swimsuit Edition cover model, and the website for the charity you're working with is apch.org.
That's right.
That's right.
Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you guys for having me.
We'll be back, everybody.
You guys are a lot of
Sorry, I
fun.
hope that was painful.
No,
Yeah, you're a good sport.
it's way different than my other interviews.
Yeah, we get it. We get a lot of
We
that.
never hear that.
Not a lot of inside out.
But I mean, at least it's not the same questions.
No.
Yep.
Yeah, it was fun.
Nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you too.
Optimistic as fuck right there.
Did you guys want to?
Yeah, take a photo. My overalls are coming off.
That's a hot look. Just do one strap off.
It is not a. Hey, that was mild. That was mild. That was appropriate for the.
I thought I told her how to check the piss out of terminology, but yeah, she needs more practice.
Nobody needs that. Hey,
Cheesy
Catherwood,
day, Betsy.
my
Yes.
overalls are coming off. Can you adjust me?
Sure.
I don't know what's happening. My pants are coming off.
Jen's out there.
She's ready?
Yep.
You can't do it either. I'm just gonna.
Just barge it.
Right outside.
Drag, yeah.
I mean, in my defense, I do take it with every guest as well, but this one, I will look cooler than I
Are you a Sydney boy or where are you from?
Melbourne.
I'm sorry, Mike, did you need something? What were you saying?
I said I'd choose you any day.
Oh. Well, thank you.
Da-da-da-da.
You got some stories. Will didn't prep his news because he's going to do it tomorrow.
Yeah. There's tons of shit. Zero of which I felt comfortable with rejoining with her. I was like, should I do man slashes stranger's throat or hotel guest gets his testicles trapped? I was like, yeah, we're just going to talk to him when we come back.
Andrew, have you noticed any difference? You lost any weight or anything? You feel any better now that you got past the headache?
5 pounds. Your podcast, that was really interesting. I would never have thought just red meat and water is a thing.
Yes, I know. It does sound contrary to whatever you've always been told.
The caffeine thing, like BS. I've had to go for sleep studies and stuff like that, and you get a headache. Like you have a couple sips of green tea and it goes away. Like fuck off. That doesn't count.
Yeah. But it's all like the.
What do you mean? It doesn't count.
It doesn't count. If you're not supposed to have caffeine and you get a headache and you have a couple sips of green tea.
Oh, yeah.
To make the headache go away, you've not had caffeine.
I refuse to listen to, I mean, even if it's backed by some type of science, I refuse to listen to anything that tells me caffeine, especially from coffee, is bad for you. Like, I go, it's the greatest drug on earth, and there's been enough positive health studies, conclusive positive health studies, that I go, I'm good. I'm just going to take this into the wind.
It just seems crazy that there's such divergent views on diet, from plant to carnivore to whatever. Like, to have that many different set of opinions and people believe it, it just...
The only thing I take away, as someone who gets definitely geeky about it, my takeaway is, because there's such divergent views, is that the right answer is probably, balance. Right. A balance of...
Yeah. So far, so good. My girlfriend's disgusted at what I eat, but it's interesting.
Join the club.
I send Andrew gross stuff because I know how he's so.
He does? Oh yeah, I can get rid of the phone just because somehow the image is saved on it. It's like, let's just get a new phone.
Oh, I'm happy. I'm so happy right now.
Somehow, like, whatever Galaxy phone I had previously would just save whatever text message pictures I got. Whenever I open up, like, the gallery of my camera, it'll be like some gaping asshole from Catholic.
Get rid of the phone.
Mission accomplished. Look how happy he is.
It happened all the time?
Oh, yeah.
I was sent to end you. Those are the chilling words of a machete-wielding attacker before he slashed the throat of a man inside a Macy's bathroom in Hawaii.
That's the last place I'd expect somebody to do that and say that to me.
They'd been on the bus together that afternoon, and apparently the victim taunted the suspect for staring at him. Mm-hmm. So the suspect was like, oh yeah, fight me. So the guy was like, no, I just talk. So he walked away, and the other guy got off the bus and followed him into the mall bathroom, and that's when he pulled a machete on him.
And killed him?
And slashed his throat and said that, wait, what is the exact quote? He sends demons to the moon.
Oh! Yeah, well, that's what you get for eyeballing a psycho in the bus.
You get sent to the moon, demon.
Everybody knows not to do that. You know?
Yeah, just don't make eye contact with anybody on the bus is a pretty safe.
Yeah, and if he follows you into Macy's into the bathroom, call the cops. Don't go in there by yourself. I would have... I just want to say real quick that I took a photo with her just now, and she was like, so, okay. And for the first time ever, I did not... like, her butt was higher than me.
Yeah. She was a tall girl.
And my hand went around. I was like, oh. And she's like, you can. And I was like, okay. And put my hand on the side of her butt hip thing. Oh my God, dude.
This is an exceptional young
lady. My hand went cold.
Yeah.
She felt like frozen old man fingers on her. But she said, go on. Like, that's the only bit that's good about it. Like, I was like, oh, okay, photo. And she was like, go on. I'm like, you just gave me permission.
Nowadays, you gotta do that, man. You gotta have the floating hand until it's...
Oh, really? You float hands?
I do. I get scared around...
Oh, wow. Oh, you know what? Look, it was only recent that a girl came on that was really little, and look, I've never done it on purpose, especially if it gets close to a boob. She was really little, and when I touched her, I was like, oh shit, and they took the photo, and who was the girl that does the interviews in the van? Yeah, the photo. It's close because she's so little and my hand's big, and it's like I'm touching the side of her ribs. There's not much room for anything else. And I was like, man, note to self, that one was as close as I would like to come, because I don't know her, but that one, it was. I think it was just because it was higher and she had the gap where it was like she's there. I felt like my hand was just gonna be on her stomach. So I'm like, but she grabbed me.
That's what I feel when I hug Sam Shocker. Because she's so thin. And
you got to find a spot where to put your hand.
Where do I do this? You know.
That's why I keep a couple of foam fingers around. Like, we're number one.
See, look. You can tell my hand. It's starting to retract and float because it's like, look at it. If I had to straighten my hand, I'm on her tit.
My hair was.
I did not mean to do that.
My hair wasn't good, man. It was my moment. It was.
I fucking tried to put you in.
I know. Sorry. Thank you.
Wanted it. She did not want us at all.
She had nothing.
You know what?
Zero interest.
They took photos of us. No, they did boomerang Instagrams with me. I jumped next to her and they laughed and they liked us. They did like us.
Tell you, I guarantee you that she was speaking the truth. That she's been doing a tremendous amount of press, and her publicity team were probably so refreshed by that interview because it was so wildly different than anything else.
I know that for the most part she enjoyed herself. I don't know if the powers that be at Sports Illustrated would necessarily agree if they had heard that, but in all likelihood they won't.
Yeah, no one listens to the show. That's the good thing about it.
That's the blessing and the curse.
Right when you got to the game's eggplant, they probably were on thin ice.
Oh yeah, no. When I first went out there, they were all like, "Whew," and I was like, "Hey," I was like, believe it or not, that's like we lobbed you one. and then like as I said, I felt like I've been out there before where I'm like, everybody hates me, and everybody there liked me. They were like, it's cool, you're cool. Maybe it has something to do with their manager being an Australian girl. Yeah. Similar stories when it's how long have you been here? When you start talking 25 years, and you both sound super Australian, that is a. You go, really? Yeah, really? Yeah, me too. Fucking weird, right? Yep, weird. End of conversation. But she's been 25 years in New York, and I've been 25 years in LA, and we both sound ridgy-didge.
Dude, I've gone to Australian parties in LA, and every person is like, oh, riggedy-doo.
What?
I'm telling you. Yeah, my wife's friend is this actress, Teresa Palmer, and she's a good actress. And she's talented, and she has these, like, kid birthday parties, and every other person is like like an Australian Hollywood person.
Oh,
either
wow.
in front of or behind the camera. And it's like they have this whole crew.
Oh, shit.
It's every Australian person in Hollywood.
Fuck, how come I'm not in that community?
I'm totally going to get you in there.
I don't want to be in there.
You would.
Would I?
Yeah, because it's not like foo-foo Australian people. Like they seem like they're really happy.
Who's that New Zealand girl that came in here that I liked?
Oh, the stunt lady.
Oh, Zoe Bell.
Yeah, Zoe Bell.
She's fucking kick-ass.
So, by the way, she just got a really prestigious thing. She got in some program for female directors.
Oh yeah.
And it's prestigious AFI directing fellowship.
Wow.
That was announced last month.
Cool.
I watched her directed movie.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, she's awesome.
The end of Death Proof, she just does wheel kicks to Kurt Russell's face. I'm like, oh, this is a woman.
Yeah, and I follow her on Instagram. She's a real woman too. She's like out there at bars and having a good time, and eats hot dogs and shit. She's a cool chick.
A hotel guest in Spain suffered a great indignity.
Uh-oh.
This man is somewhere between the age of 60 and 70. They're trying to protect his identity to the extent that they can. He was taking a shower, but sitting in a plastic chair in the shower.
Oh, they have plastic chairs at the Korean spa that you can shave in front of the mirror. Those are delightful. Right.
And those chairs have slats in them.
Oh, no.
Just big enough for a man of a certain age's testicles.
Oh! If you had testicles that go through slats, you gotta be more aware of sitting on them.
Damn it.
You know, like if I've got balls that are fucking a couple inches longer than they used to be, I cup those when I sit down.
Every one of us like trains with a guy who's got like really big ears or really big nose. He's aware of it. He watches out for it, right? He wears ear covers when he does jujitsu. Or a guy who's got a big nose when he's boxing, he's like, let me guard this a little bit.
Okay.
If you have gigantic old man balls, maybe the slitty slat chair is not for you.
Yeah,
holy moly.
So how far? What? And then what happened? Did it grab him?
Yeah, he couldn't get out of them, and so he had caretakers who they could not solve the painful problem, so they alerted emergency services. And this is where I feel like this was unnecessary embarrassment for the man. No less than 3 fire crews showed up to cut him free.
Well, wait, all of them are in there?
Man, come on.
Like, the first one couldn't do the job. Was the first one even necessary? You just need to cut apart a plastic chair. That's what needs to happen.
It wasn't Jaws of Life equipment or anything?
Why would it be? I don't know exactly, but why would it be?
So
yeah, obviously you got to avoid his nuts. Hey man, be careful with those. But you cut the chair apart around him, get his nuts out, fuck the chair.
Yeah. So now he's what? He's like, hey man, I don't really appreciate everybody watching my nuts go through the chair. Like they didn't like pick him up and hold him out on the street with naked or anything.
As I say, I don't know his name. I don't even know his exact age. They kept it very anonymous. Just I never should have found out about this in the first place because there never should have been 3 fire crews. It should not be necessary to have that many people.
I don't know.
Release an old man's nuts from a chair.
Good to know that my tax-paying dollars are you know what I mean? They come to an emergency. I mean, when I'm 70 and my balls are stuck, holler at your boy. I need help, man.
Yeah.
Well, this was in
I've
Spain,
fallen
but yeah.
and I can't get my balls out of the chair.
A bedridden, obese lady earlier this week was found with maggot-infested legs in her Georgia home.
So you just set her on fire, right? Come on.
Her husband...
Did somebody else sick as fuck laugh out there as well? I mean, if you got to the point... Look, hear me out before you all chastise me. Okay, because if I got so big that maggots are inside me, you just set her on fire because it kills the maggots and it kills her.
But why do you have to burn her? Why don't we just kill her then? Why don't you shoot her in the face and make it painful?
Nah. I don't think she feels a fire. I think at this point she feels nothing at all.
Only the sweet liberation.
I was going to
death.
say the sweet release of the heat in the lungs of the flames, and then I think she'd rather be set aflame from the feet first, because I would want the maggots to die before I die.
What about amputating her legs? And then keep
dude, there's somebody who's that fat. Have you watched my 900-pound life or whatever?
I can't do it.
Well, I have. And they
they
can't amputate stuff. Their organs can't handle it all. So there's like this weird. You're gonna have to. Not only do you have to get the maggots out and all this other stuff. I just feel like if you go to the point where you've let maggots eat your legs, you die a horrible death, fire. And I really need that to be cleaned.
Is that the worst?
I need it to be turned to ash.
In all of medicine? Is that officially the worst?
This doctor that I watched that 900-pound life his life is insane because he's not only is he like saving their lives, they're lying to him. He's fighting them to save their lives.
What are they lying about? Like what they eat?
Eating.
Yeah. I don't think it's under their control. I mean, it's like
it is. You're fucking sober, man.
Right, but when I was drinking, I would lie about drinking, and it was almost like pathological. You couldn't control it, you know. And I feel like I'm sure that these people are the same way with food. I'm sure they mean really well. They really want to. They can't look that guy straight in the eyes and be like, "Yeah, I had 11 cheeseburgers."
Well, the other thing is when you get that big, there's somebody who helps you.
Yeah.
That's all these TV shows where they're 1,000 pounds and up, or there's somebody that keeps shoving it in their face. And I'm like, chew me out all you want. You're getting, this salad, and that's all you're getting. I don't understand. You watch Mum's Crack because you're like, I need bacon. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. You can't even get up. I can just shut the door and leave for an hour. Yeah, like I swear, there's ones where it's like Batman, and one leg is like 3 men, and it's hanging off the side of the couch and trying to get out the window. It's like, I'm not getting you any more chicken.
But oftentimes they're little enablers, probably just as unhealthy in a different way. I mean, it's just, look, the same thing goes with drinking and drugs. By the time you get to...
Imagine if you saw a documentary where the mum went and scored heroin and helped inject it into the kid.
I've seen interventions where the TV show Intervention. I've seen episodes where the mom will drive the kid to a drug dealer, give her $30, and it's be like, it's either this or she's on the street.
Look, and we just talked about Mexico and the way the world is. It's like, honestly, set the mum and the kid on fire. You came to the hospital and the doctor told you what you had to do. Yeah. And then you went home and made him a bacon and chicken sandwich. Fire! Because all the other people in the world that need all this help, all your poo and your trash and your you know what I mean? Like, everything you're doing is just a destruction. Fire. Because it cleans it. Ash is the cleanest thing there is on the planet.
Yeah. Fahrenheit 451. So the woman was found unconscious by authorities in her Georgia home. Her husband, who is 54, and her 18-year-old son have been charged with neglect of a disabled or elderly person. Not only
did she say, "Hey, there's maggots in my leg"?
She was barely conscious.
Right. Well, probably for the best.
Not only were maggots and cockroaches eating her dying flesh, she was found covered in her own feces.
Yeah. Oh, maggots love feces, though.
And
look, I was spot on. The only thing that's going to clean that is fire.
The white sheet she'd been lying on had turned black and brown due to her feces and the overall filth of the situation.
We gotta light those kids on fire too, though.
Oh yeah, no, put them in. Yeah, they're kindling.
To just allow someone to get to that point.
Everybody burns.
Everyone.
Everyone burns. The governor. If I'm Governor Ellis, everybody burns in that one.
A Latvian. Lots of really dark news. I did do a rejoin.
Yeah, Latvians will get dark.
There's never ever pretty news coming out of Latvia.
I was gonna say.
I have like 8 stories in front of me, and I was trying to think of one that I felt comfortable doing in front of the Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition cover model, and I just was like, "Hey, Danielle's here."
Nice call.
Yeah. A Latvian performance artist has been slicing flesh off of his assistants' bodies, no anesthetic, frying it and feeding it to them on his live Facebook stream.
And they're okay with it?
Yeah, they're totally down.
Oh, well, that's sexy talk. That's foreplay.
He's making a point. It's not entirely clear to me what the point is.
Sarah, welcome to the Jason Ellis Show.
Hi, Jason. How are you?
Hey, Sarah.
You guys are funny. You guys make my ride home every day so much better. I appreciate that.
That's hot. What are you wearing? Sorry, I can't do it.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Okay, what are you wearing?
Are there maggots on your legs?
No, thankfully there are not. But I would like myself on fire.
See? Told ya. Thank you, Sarah.
Fire is the only option.
It is the only thing that cleans maggots.
And a man in Australia was fined.
What? Yeah.
After accepting oral sex from a stranger on the train.
You can blow me. Wait.
Why was he fined?
What? Wait, yeah, I don't know. I said he could suck me off. I don't get it.
Because you're not allowed to. All he did was tell the woman that she had a quote-unquote mad body.
Wait,
and
she said him? Wait. She said he had a mad body, or he said she had a mad body?
He said she had a mad body.
And she sucked him off.
She was masturbating on the train at the time.
Oh yeah, well then that's your window. That's when you go.
She told police that she did it because she'd always wanted to do it, and it was her birthday.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, g'day.
It was not her birthday.
Oh, yeah. That's why they went to jail.
It's because you can't do that when it's not your birthday.
Yeah.
That's a bummer. So she was masturbating on the train. He said, "You're hot," and then she blew him. And then somebody, who's the fucking party foul that calls the cops on that one?
Right.
I mean, sounds like this two train wrecks found each other in a perfect scenario.
From what I understand of Australian police from your stories, I can't believe they arrested the people.
Right. Oh, times have changed, I guess.
After he finished, he was observed washing his dick off with Coke.
Fuck.
Cocaine or Coca-Cola?
Coca-Cola.
How would you wash it with cocaine? I mean, Coke doesn't really have that many other abilities.
It doesn't have any sanitizing
Yeah, you
properties.
can't. I don't see you rubbing the jizz off with powder. But yeah, Coca-Cola would definitely work.
I just thought of in
Wait, is that him?
school we had the powdered soap.
Is that him?
Yes, I don't have a picture of the lady, but just for a little extra fun, you can check out the white pride tattoo.
Oh no!
In his defense, she had a mad body.
And listen, I mean, she's masturbating on the train. If she's at all attractive and I'm single, that's where my mind goes.
To me, that just sounds like two meth heads on a train.
Yeah, crazy met crazy.
Yeah,
it's about that
Sounds like a
simple.
beat song.
Let's see what else is going on. YouTube is tightening their restrictions on firearm videos. Gonna be a little bit harder to post a video about here's how to make a gun, modify a gun.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's probably a good idea.
Netflix has issued a new warning. They've attached a new video warning at the beginning of 13 Reasons Why, telling people if you are feeling somewhat suicidal, this might not be the show for you.
Well, that's just in time for the last couple of people that haven't watched it.
Is that?
And for the handful of people who have committed suicide whose families are suing Netflix, saying that it would, encourage them.
I mean, dude, I have a 13-year-old and got an email from the school saying that I should watch it with her. Or maybe they were saying they're going to watch it, and if they do, you should watch it. So anyway, I'm watching it with her. It's brutal. And then I find out that they're all starting to copy her a little bit and do like a little pretend thing where they're all doing weird stuff, acting like they're going to do something.
Yeah.
So I don't know how necessary that... I think it was one of those things where I think kids are growing up quicker than they used to, but I think we might have jumped the gun on thinking they grew up that fast, because when there was a couple of scenes in there where I was like, people might come at me for what I say on the radio, and maybe one of her friends could tell her what I said on the radio. I don't think anything I've done on the radio is anywhere near as bad as sitting there watching this girl get raped in a fucking jacuzzi. I was like, wait a minute, does she need to see that bit? Like, man, I thought it was like harder than most of the adult movies that I've seen that have, like Law and Order. You can kind of see that it's still a TV show. They don't give you such a realistic, like, inside the mind of someone that's being raped at the time. It's like really slow mo. I'm like, man, I don't think somebody 12 needs to watch this. Even though school told me it'd be a good idea.
People would freak out if you told them that you watched Law and Order SVU with your 12-year-old, 13-year-old daughter.
Right.
People would shit. But they encourage you to watch this. I'm with you. I was not comfortable watching that series. I did not.
Yeah, I was clueless, man. I just did it because I figured they would. They're so sensitive at school that they would never do anything that would be borderline touchy, because they're oversensitive. But for that one, they were just like, yeah. Oh, they did have a point though, because I think the kids will watch it if they find out that you don't want them to watch it. They'll watch it. Yeah, so it would probably be best that I. And the other thing is, I wouldn't have watched it if I didn't get the email, because it didn't trigger me to be interested in watching that. Like I saw 13 Reasons, I was like, oh, some kid with headphones on, lame. But I watched the whole thing because of the email.
Yeah, the warning that's running on Netflix now says if you are struggling with these issues yourself, this series might not be right for you, which is really weird, because that would seem to be saying if you're the kind of person who wants to watch this, you're the kind of person who shouldn't watch this.
Right. And it also seems like the type of show that it's perfectly suited for someone like that, but at the same time, because it's a cautionary tale, but
it's a caution. It's a caution. No, but it's the thing. The bad part. The other bad part is it's a cautionary tale that slightly glamorizes her. She's a star in the movie.
I think everything that goes on film pretty much glamorizes.
Yeah, they take. And some kids take the good bits from it and the bad bits from it. You know, like you just said the Law and Order thing. I don't mind my kids watching Law and Order because I feel like there's things in there that I'd rather they got a little wind of it and then ask me like what that meant than me trying to say, do you know that there's people out there that rape? Like, I don't want to say rape to Devin.
No, it's true.
But if Law and Order says it and she asks me what that word means, you know what I mean? I'm like, Law and Order will probably end up explaining it to her before she even gets asked. I'd rather fucking what's his name told her than me. I mean, I think it did actually.
For Maloney?
Yeah, Maloney. No, but I don't call him Maloney. I call him what his name is on the show, which I forgot, which I watch all the time. It's the thing Katie puts it on for me to go to sleep to.
Chad Kroger.
How dare you? Why are you saying that? Like, you did a great show. There's 1 minute left in just Chad Kroger. Like 8. You know what I mean? Fuck, man. What the fuck? Stabler. What the fucking god? Oh my. Stabler.
Do you ever get a funny feeling about Officer Stabler? I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. Just something about that guy.
Oh, fucking Stabler.
Should have stayed with Kroger.
The snake.
Oh, Agent Stabler. That's going to amuse the shit out of me. All right, everybody. Don't die. Stabler. That's awesome.